Fear not, citizens. Justice will be served. You're in good hands.
The defense is wrong.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
Hello, everybody. Hi. Hi, Coco, Mark, Fashion, and Simi was up there earlier. So I'm doing cam off today because I'm being lazy. It's gloomy outside. Hi, Mustang. Good to see you. So yeah, we're just doing cam off today, but wait for a couple more people to come in if they're going to. We've got great news. Hi, Dennis. Good to see you. So today's going to be our last day. Hopefully we can get through this. I think we should be able to. If I'm going to sit here no matter what, it's going to get played. So today's the last day of our Shanda saga, and right as we're finishing this, we finally got the news that the judge denied her getting a new trial, which is the best news that I've heard in a while, because are they, Calco? I know. It was raining this morning. I feel it today. I'm just blah. But so yeah, right as we're finishing this, the judge is like, "Hey, I'm gonna throw you a solid and just like let you guys know that I'm not gonna give her a new trial." I feel like finally a judge with some sense. Every judge has been handing out new trials. You've got Letitia, you've got Alec Murdaugh. Now we've got Adam Montgomery, which I cannot believe. This is absolutely ridiculous. And honestly, we were just here last week saying happy birthday to Harmony. And this is what she gets as a birthday gift. She doesn't get justice. I'm so angry about it. But that's okay, because what we're going to do is, after today's live, I'm going to take a little break. And when we come back, we're going to replay the trial. Adam Montgomery's, I cannot say that name today. Adam Montgomery's trial that he did not attend one day of. That way we can refresh ourselves and catch up anybody that doesn't know about poor Harmony. So we're going to do that. So there was something that I saw over the weekend that was really, they're all just formalities. Yeah, I know, but it's so frustrating because now we have to go through all this all over again. The families have to go through all over again. Like, justice is just being stalled, and it's ridiculous. And, money's going into this. Simi, you're good. Hi. Yeah, fuck Adam. He sucks. So we're going to come back and we're going to cover the trial again. Hi, Nikki. Good to see you. Simi, Nikki, no camera today. I'm feeling lazy. But, well, hello, Miss Dina. Good to see you. Thanks for coming. So over the weekend, I'm not a huge sports fan, but Go Knicks, apparently. I guess they won for the first time in, like, I don't know how many years, 50 something, 60 something years, a ridiculous amount of years. So good for them, happy for them. However, the one thing, hi Nicole. Oh, hi Nicole, good to see you. Um, the one thing that I'm not stoked on, and the one thing that since 1930, right? Um, so I'm really stoked for them. Really, I am. If you're a sports person, that's awesome. And everyone should be talking about that. But what they're not talking about is what happened after that game. And I made a small compilation of just a couple videos that out of the hundreds that I've come across. Hi, Gucci. Good to see you. I haven't seen hundreds, but you know what I mean. There are hundreds of these videos out there. And I was disgusted. I was absolutely disgusted. And the one thing that I noticed, the majority were young males in this video. So, in these videos. And I really hope. Hi, Dan. Good to see you. I tried to change the music, so I hope I don't get struck for this. But I just wanted to have you take a look at this, and this is nothing compared to the other stuff that's out there. This is just one night, a couple hours of absolute chaos.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge sanctioned by the U.S. government. Commencing at the siren, any and all crime will be legal for 12 continuous hours. May God be with you all.
Like, this coworker behind the counter, I really hope that he's okay because let me tell you something. There's a 17-year-old that's in a coma, multiple people that were shot. I think there were over 60 people arrested that serious. This is scary. This is scary because not only do we have the teen takeovers in a lot of big cities right now, these are people that cannot be contained, controlled, and they're tearing shit up and they're young kids. Like, this is bad. They were going into every place just beating people and tearing, like, if you wore a Spurs jersey, they were literally mobbing these people and ripping it off of them. I saw someone getting arrested just for their own safety. Like, it was ridiculous.
Crazy. I want to see comedy. Oh my god.
That right there is like straight up. Oh God, I'm in my living room. Sorry. So my dogs are going to be barking. Sorry about that. But yeah, that's just straight up savageness. These people think that they're invisible because they're in a huge crowd and they're like, well, if they're doing it, I'm going to do it because I have the chance to do it. And yes, absolutely. I was disgusted by it. This is our future. these little dumbasses are our future. And it just, oh, this happens all the time. This happens after every big game. No, this is not how people celebrate. These were people celebrating. This was on the winning side. But they're too lazy to get jobs. Exactly, Kel. And they're too lazy to fight against the government, right? But they could spend the energy on this. So I just wanted to point that out. But I guess go Knicks. But that happened in New York. Also, fuck Adam Montgomery. Let me look at my notes and see what else I wanted. Exactly. Somehow they can afford those tickets to the game too. Like, we're not showing the government that we're on hard times, y'all. We're really not. There is no future. I'm pretty positive of that myself. I'm over here like stressed and depressed because of all the shit that I'm seeing. So there's a new documentary out on Netflix, you guys. It's called Maternal Instinct, and you guys need to see it. It's really good. I'm not going to spend too much time talking today because we got to get through this stockpile and bunkers, girl. And I keep trying to convince my husband. I don't even want to be in America right now, to be honest with you. I keep trying to talk to him. He's like, everything's fine. So do y'all remember the two girls? Can y'all stop? Thank you. They didn't stop, but I said thank you anyway. Do y'all remember the two girls who planned their classmates' murder because he reminded them of Adam Lanza? And they planned it. They were going to do it in the school bathroom and everything. It's not fine. No, it's not. Y'all remember those two girls? Well, the bigger one, Isabel Valdez, 15, is facing 10 new charges or 10 new counts of possessing CSAM, which was announced June 10th. Okay. Can you guys hold on one second? I've got to put these dogs in their cages because I cannot hear. Give me one second. Come on. Come on. Okay. Sorry about that. My dogs decided they wanted to get rambunctious today since I'm in the living room. Now, where did I put the book that I just had? Oh, okay. My notes. Sorry. So, as I was saying, yeah, so she has 10 new counts of possessing CSAM, which was announced on the 10th. She's already being held without bail now, so they've added $350K bond on top of the no bail. Each counts of possession carries up to 5 years in prison. And I know at least one of the children was as young as 3 years old. And all of this was found on her phone, from my understanding. So, as young as 3, Simi, yes. And this girl's 15. So she's definitely got some things going on. So there's that. The girls originally, let me see. Both girls are supposed to be back in court on the 24th to set a formal trial date. I don't know if they're going to be charged together or separate. And especially now that she's got the one has these new charges. So, I was gonna screen record a bunch of videos for you guys today about Adam and this and all that, but we've got a lot to watch, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get into this. And I don't remember exactly where we left off, so I'm just gonna start it from where I think those girls are not going to be laughing in court, Mark. You are absolutely right. They are not going to be laughing. They were giggling in that squad car, talking about, oh, I should have done my makeup, my mugshot photo, this, that, and the other. And the giggles were scary. These kids are scary these days. Like, I'm telling you, I was looking at that footage from New York, and I already don't leave my house. That's not helping. That is literally not helping the situation. So we're just going to, because we've got, I think, an hour and 22 minutes on this one. And I know we still got a while on this other one. So let's just, and hold on. I just want to make sure. Okay. We're going to start with him asking questions.
I don't have any further questions. Can I talk to that?
No, thank you.
All right. Mr. Johnson, I just want to clear, I think we're all dancing around the same question here. Did you ever say, hey, listen, I'm going to her, in those words, we're going to go for involuntary manslaughter?
No,
When you said possible outcomes, did you mean, hey, listen, open murder, you can be first, second, voluntary, involuntary? Is that what you discussed with her?
that's what we discussed.
Okay, and did you discuss all the elements of all those?
Yes, we did.
Okay, and it
Hi,
sounds like you
PJ.
discussed 1 and 2 are off the board, correct? I mean, that was not something you guys were going to argue, correct? First and second degree.
Most certainly no.
Okay, and when you guys talked about, so my understanding is as the trial progressed, you were waiting to see how the proofs came in, to see exactly what manslaughter was going to be argued or just complete in it. I mean, did you ever foreclose the idea of the argument to the jury that completely not guilty of everything?
No, sir, that's the first argument.
Okay, and then was it, okay, listen, depending on how things go, then we might have to say, all right, well, that's out the window, maybe we should argue involuntary manslaughter.
Yes.
All right. When you guys discussed this, did you use those terms, involuntary manslaughter?
Yes, by name.
Okay, so you actually said involuntary manslaughter to her,
Yes,
and you believe she understood that?
yes, both manslaughter by name. She's a lawyer. She understood, so I wasn't as reticent about not.
Yeah, she was a lawyer. She did understand. Can you guys still hear me when I do this? Since I have my camera off, let me know, please.
But by breaking it down as I normally would be, she understood all 4 of the options, and we talked.
Girl, you're a mod. What do you mean you didn't get the alert? You don't need an alert. You know it's Monday. Every Monday, girl. You're in the mod chat. What you mean?
Talk to them by name.
Okay. When did it become apparent to you in the course of the trial that the complete innocent verdict was gone? The fact that you were going to go for not guilty completely. That you said.
So basically, right now, the defense and prosecution are done questioning him. The court's questioning him now, and then I think we're moving on from him. That's where we're at.
Strategy number 1. When did that occur to you that went out the window?
Judge, if you'll recall, there was a point in the trial where the witness testified that he sent my client a photograph on his phone of Timothy, and he was shirtless, and the pants were falling off of him, and he sent this photograph to my client, and my client saw it and responded to it. At that point, given that the jury, at that point, it became clear to me to tell this jury that there is no guilt here, was not going to be an effective argument for this client.
Was that discussed with Ms. Vander Ark?
Specifically, no, not that specific.
After that day, did you say, hey, listen, option one's off the board, we're going to have to go with option two?
No, sir.
At any point in time, was it discussed?
No, I did not. I would assume that had she been here, we may have, but that's just an assumption. I don't know. But certainly the decisions that were being made during trial, whether or not she was going to testify or not, that was done at the point when it became obvious that it might help her. But matter of fact, that's the other decision that was made when that picture came in, that she's going to have to testify. But no, there wasn't a sit-down discussion saying, "Hey, we're gonna go for an involuntary manslaughter here." That did not happen.
Were there previous discussions that at some point that could happen, that you'd have to be, if one was off the board, you have to move on to option two?
Were there? You mean
with Ms. Vander Ark?
Yes, that was discussed. Yes, that was discussed along with, and I reviewed the file, I knew it was in it, along with the likelihood that not guilty was not likely here, that we would probably be doing something to make sure you don't spend the rest of your life in prison.
When the option of involuntary manslaughter came up in all these discussions, was it ever expressed by Ms. Vander Ark, absolutely not, I'm innocent?
No.
All right. Sorry to open the door again. Mr. Ambrose, any other questions?
Yes, I mean, okay, so during the whole trial, you hear all the prosecution's case, right?
Yes, sir.
And in the trial, you make a decision, or you discuss with Ms. Vander Ark that it's probably in her best interest to testify, right?
Yes, sir.
And that occurs when this photograph shows up or appears. That was a reason to have her testify, or is that?
Yeah, there was as you know, with trials, the information accumulates, and when that piece came in, that.
Now, during your questioning of Ms. Vander Ark, do you ever ask her, Ms. Vander Ark, or it sounds to me like you committed some sort of crime?
Did I say that? No.
Yeah. And you never asked her on direct examination.
Simi. For some reason, I read that as cow lick instead of cow lick.
Well, don't you think you know, they have a case here for involuntary manslaughter? Do you ever ask her anything like that during the trial?
No.
And I think on direct examination, you kind of said that it was your argument to make to the jury that she was guilty of involuntary manslaughter.
Yes.
And
Not being on camera and being in chat actually lets me focus more. Because when I'm on camera and trying to do a bunch of stuff at the same time, I for sure forget. I can't pay attention to everything. So I put cowlick as
yeah, I have nothing further.
Ms. Bloomquist.
Just very
you
briefly.
said moo, and I was thinking of Z's cat.
She wasn't convicted of manslaughter, was she?
No.
So the jury rejected your concession anyway.
Yes.
So there's no, well, never mind. I have no further questions.
Any follow-up to that, Mr. Ambrose?
I'm through.
All right, good enough. May this witness stand down, Mr. Ambrose. May he be excused.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Johnson.
And we're done.
All right, thank you, Mr.
with
Johnson.
him.
Thank you, Your
Are
Honor.
excused.
Shaking her head.
All right, Mr. Ambrose, you can call your next witness.
I will call Shanda Vander Ark.
Ms. Vander Ark, if you want to come on around.
Oh, here we go, y'all. If you could see, I should have been on camera so y'all could see me roll my eyes right now. This girl.
Please remain standing and raise your right hand to be sworn as best you can. This matter now pending. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, put your hand down and grab a seat. Please state your name for the record, spelling your first name and last name.
Shanda Vander Ark, Shanda Vander, space capital ARK.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Ambrose.
Ms. Vander Ark, you heard the
little train that couldn't. Is it Timothy? Oh no, I don't want to say Timmy the train because Timothy loved. It looked like he loved Timmy the train, so I don't want to say that. But yeah, she does look like a train conductor.
Well, first off, your medical condition, let's just briefly go through that. How's your condition right now?
I'm miserable. I'm
Oh, good Lord. Are we still talking about, oh, we are still talking about her migraine. Jeez. It's nice to see Shonda in cuffs, right? And in blue and orange because this whole time she's been in street clothes. So,
lightheaded. My head is just splitting. The back of my neck hurts constantly. It's something that goes along with the thyroid issue, I guess. I've been shaking. This is almost constant now. It started a couple days a week for a few hours at a time, and it's almost constant now.
Would it be your preference to testify at another time?
Absolutely. I feel like garbage.
With that, Your Honor, I would
need some milk.
renew my request for an adjournment.
Can I have a sidebar with the attorney real quick?
yeah. She is going to be miserable for the rest of her life because she really thought give her a frozen pizza roll, but only
Right.
dangle it
We're
between
back
the
on the
bars
record.
and then take it
And
away
People
from
versus
her.
Vander Ark. Ms. Vander Ark, you can stand down. You can go sit next to your attorney.
Weeks if
Oh man, are you serious? I went all the way back. Hold on. Well, we know that she's up here, so hold on. I cannot believe I just did that. That's annoying. My bad. Okay. Yeah, it was a sidebar mute.
would it be your preference to testify at another time?
All right, we'll just start
And
over
I
with
think on
this.
direct
Sorry.
examination, you
Shoot. See, this is why I hate
Remain
going back
standing and
and
raise
forth.
your
All
right
right,
hand
here
to
we
be
go.
sworn as best you can. This matter now pending. Do you
Yeah.
swear or
Good,
affirm the
good
testimony
time
you're
to hit
about
the
to give
like
be the
button.
truth,
Thank
the
you.
whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, put your hand down and grab a seat. Please state your name for the record,
okay
spelling your
with me.
first name and last name.
Shanda Vander Ark, Shanda Vander, space capital ARK.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Ambrose.
Ms. Vander Ark, you heard the well, first off, your medical condition, let's just briefly go through that. How's your condition right now?
I'm miserable. I'm lightheaded. My head is just splitting. The back of my neck hurts constantly. It's something that goes along with the thyroid issue, I guess. I've been shaking. This is almost constant now. It started a couple days a week for a few hours at a time, and it's almost constant now.
Would it be your preference to testify at another time?
Absolutely. I feel like garbage.
Who cares? Make her testify anyways. You're wasting people's time and taxpayers' dollars. Actually, you don't get to be the victim. Yeah, absolutely. She does not get to be the victim. No one cares about how you feel. And honestly, the judge trying to get her some aspirin was awfully kind of him. I would have just been like, well, too bad, so sad.
With that, Your Honor, I would renew my request for an adjournment.
Can I have a sidebar with the attorneys real quick?
Not sitting there with her eyes closed. Speaking of with their eyes closed, did you see who fell asleep at their 80th birthday party last night? With all that fighting and cheering going on around him. Oh. And people said was calling Biden Sleepy Joe. Why is she shaking her head? She has some sass for someone trying to get a new trial, considering what she did or allegedly did. At this point, we know she did it, so it's okay. Nikki.
All right, we're back on the record, and People versus Vander Ark. Ms. Vander Ark, you can stand down. You can go sit next to your attorney. This is, as a practical matter, 149.
Kel, absolutely, absolutely.
p.m. The people indicate they have 3 witnesses they wish to call. Mr. Ambrose obviously prefers his client be in a better medical condition. Quite frankly, this is likely to go on past today anyway. So because of that,
No.
there's really no point right now in pushing her testimony forward right now if she's not.
Girl, I was not giving that any clicks or views. I didn't watch it, but I saw a picture of him sleeping. I'm not giving any of that clicks or views because even the people that are just watching it to, see what's going on that aren't supporting it, those clicks and views are gonna they add up and they're getting counted and they see that as success. I'm not contributing to that success at all.
Not feeling well. I think the parties, and correct me if I'm wrong, agreeing. Mr. Ambrose, you don't have any objection to the prosecution at this point in time calling her witnesses out of order. That way we can come back here for Ms. Vander Ark. Is that true?
That is true.
Yeah, Ms. Bloomquist?
I'll leave it in the court's discretion, but I'm ready to proceed with my witnesses.
Okay, well, let's do that. So, Ms. Bloomquist, you can call your first
The
witness.
people call Melinda Kotecki.
Girl, of course there was. Of course there was a fist fight at the fist fight. They just need to tear that whole thing down. And I heard that he wanted to keep it up afterwards. Someone tell him he's out of his mind already. Someone, please. So the court's going to move on without her. She could just sit her dusty ass in that chair and be miserable. We're going to move on. Cole, I know that's the truth. That's
Ms.
a lot
Kotek,
better
if you want to come right
than
up here, please.
multiples. I still was not
Raise
interested
your
in
hand and be
seeing
sworn,
none of
please.
it.
This matter now pending. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, put your hand down and grab a seat. Please state your name for the record, spelling your first name and last name.
Melinda Kotecki, MELINDA
Go ahead, Ms. Bloomquist.
Hey, good afternoon, Ms. Kotecki. Could you please state for the record where you're currently employed?
The Muskegon County Public Defender's Office.
And what is
May he have the longest 80th birthday ever.
your job title there?
I'm the Chief Social Worker.
And how long have you been employed there?
Just over 2 years.
And before you were at the Muskegon County Public Defender's Office, what's your educational history like?
I obtained my bachelor's degree in social work from Kuiper College in 2011 and then got my master's degree in social work from Western Michigan University in 2015.
And did you work anywhere after you received your degrees before the Muskegon County Public Defender's Office?
Yes, after I got my bachelor's degree, I worked at an inpatient psychiatric hospital.
See, I already trailed off. What was her name? I'm not going to go back because Lord knows I'm going to go back 15 minutes and get lost again. Simi, what was her name? I always loved the name Mildred. And I said if I ever had kids and it was a girl, I was going to name her Mildred, but then call her Millie for short. but I know that kids would make fun of her, but I don't have that kid, so that don't even matter, but I still love the name Mildred.
Rest and also worked at a residential treatment center for eating disorders. After I obtained my master's degree, I worked at Community Mental Health of Kent County for 8 years before coming to the Public Defender's Office.
Okay, so how many years in total have you been a master's level social worker?
It'll be 10 in May, yes.
And were you the social worker assigned for the Public Defender's Office to the case involving Shanda Vander Ark?
For part of it, my understanding is I believe that she was arrested prior to my hire. Once I was hired in September of 2023, that's when I began working on the case.
And could you just describe for the judge, was there a defense team working on Ms. Vander Ark's case?
Yes. In addition to the attorney, Fred Johnson, there was also a second chair attorney, myself. My understanding is that the social worker prior to my hire had met with Ms. Vander Ark, and our office also utilizes a research attorney and an investigator.
So this wasn't just Mr. Johnson and yourself, there was a whole team?
Correct.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay. And did you meet with Mr. Johnson and Ms. Vander Ark together?
Yes.
On this case?
Yes.
How many times would you approximate that happened?
Prior to her trial, I believe twice. During her trial, we met daily.
Did you sit in on the trial?
Yes.
And I apologize, I'm not aware, but where were you at during the trial? Were you?
Oh my God, is the lips not syncing with the audio? That's gonna drive me crazy. Why is it doing that?
Near counsel table, or were you in the gallery?
Yes, I was near counsel table, not at the table with Fred and Ms. Vander Ark, but in the chairs directly behind.
So you were aware of what was going on during the trial?
Yes.
Were you there every day?
Yes.
So let's talk about the time before trial and those meetings between Mr. Johnson and Ms. Vander Ark. How would you describe Mr. Johnson's interactions with her?
I would, from my perspective, it seemed as though they had a good working relationship. They seemed as though they, communicated freely, both about the case and even just seemed to have an overall good rapport, I would say. They both were big sports fans and they talk about football. And from my perspective, recognizing that they likely had meetings without me present as well, it seemed as though they communicated openly with each other.
Did it ever appear as if Mr. Johnson was just going to do things his own way without consulting her or taking her feedback?
Not at all.
Was he receptive to collaboration with her?
Yes.
How was her demeanor in those conversations?
I would say that she seemed very engaged. She was very eager to offer her own thoughts and feedback about kind of case strategy and its, I guess, demeanor, mood-wise. I mean, she seemed, I guess I'm repeating myself, but the best word I can think of is she seemed very engaged.
Now, you did mention, though, that she had thoughts on strategy. Were you present for discussions on trial strategy?
Very minimally.
Okay. What was your minimal involvement on that? Or at least what did you observe, if anything?
I want to make sure, I guess, that I recollect as clearly as possible, so excuse my pause. The conversations that I remember involved talking about obtaining an expert evaluation, a psychologist to evaluate Ms. Vander Ark, and we all agreed that that was a good next step. So that's the primary discussion that I recall as it pertains to strategy.
Okay, so obtaining experts and seeing what their opinions would be.
Yes.
How how generally was Mr. Johnson's tone with her?
He's one of the friendliest, warmest individuals you probably will ever meet.
And he continued that in his client meetings with her?
Yes.
Did Ms. Vander Ark ever complain to complain to you about Mr. Johnson?
No.
Did you also assist in this case with Mr. Johnson when the defendant was not present?
Yes.
Okay, how so?
He and I would primarily discuss any updates if if we were waiting for the psychologist to report back to us about his findings, or I guess that's the primary thing. I can't recall anything else specific.
Did you assist in sort of facilitating the interviews with the expert witnesses?
Yes.
Okay. And specifically, did you assist in, or did you participate in the interview with Dr. King?
Yes.
And when I say that, I don't mean your interview with Dr. King, I mean the
Correct.
defendant's, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And ultimately, at the end of that interview, was a preliminary assessment given by Dr. King?
Yes. I
What was
was in, I guess to clarify, I am not the person who initially contacted Dr. King to arrange the assessment. I believe that was done by the social worker that was employed before me. When I was hired, that is when I kind of took over that role. I did participate in the interview with Dr. King, and after Ms. Vander Ark had ended her portion of the call, Dr. King and I were still on the call together, as well as I think he had a research assistant that was present. And I am not quoting by any means his exact words, but his initial or preliminary assessment was that he did not feel that Ms. Vander Ark was incompetent or severely mentally ill, and felt that he could not provide a good defense for our office.
Was Mr. Johnson on the call at the same time as you, or was that just
He
you?
was not.
Okay. So you obtained that information. What do you do with it?
I told Mr. Johnson about it.
And then, to your knowledge, and only answer if you know, did Mr. Johnson speak to Dr. King as well?
I don't know for sure. I know that Dr. King sent us a report. I don't know if they had a separate conversation.
But he wasn't a party to the conversation with you and Dr. King?
Correct.
Okay. So, Ms. Katecki, in your professional capacity, do you sort of have to assess whether or not individuals are alert to person, place, and time?
Yes.
Okay. And do you just sort of naturally start to do that when you're communicating with defendants at certain points?
Yes, definitely. I mean, most times that I meet with a client, I, have my own kind of internal process as far as the things that I'm looking for, assessing, as you said, to kind of a mini mental status exam of sorts. So a person being oriented, as you said, is a component of that, whether or not they're having thoughts of harming themselves, other people, whether or not their thoughts are logical, coherent, things like that.
So did you just sort of relay the whole checklist, or is that just a brief snapshot?
That's just a brief snapshot.
So could you just walk us through what your general checklist would be when you're communicating with a defendant?
Sure. I would note any kind of observable things. So like, are they disheveled? Are they, as best they can, given the circumstances of being in jail, kind of tending to their hygiene? Is their speech pressured? Is it unusually slow? Sometimes that can be an indicator of like a thought disorder, if they're experiencing what we call thought blocking. Sometimes if people are doing what a kind of a clinical term, being like loose associations, so making connections with things that you or I would not make connections with, or hearing messages from, that you or I are not hearing, so kind of responding to internal stimuli. And what I mean by that is, do they appear to be hearing voices? Those are, the primary things that I'm looking for.
So turning to the trial in this case, Was Miss Vander, I know I'm pointing over here where my table is, but Miss Vander Ark was seated over here, correct?
Yes.
And so were you?
Yes.
And you were able to personally observe Miss Vander Ark throughout the trial, correct?
Yes.
So let's start with the first couple of days.
Okay.
Did she have any concerning behaviors on your sort of internal checklist, for lack of a better term, during the first couple days of trial?
No, I would say similar to prior meetings with Ms. Vander Ark and Mr. Johnson, she seemed very engaged. She was frequently taking notes. She would lean over, and communicate with Fred. I'm not privy to what they were discussing because those were often in whispers. But she seemed alert and oriented in all aspects.
Did you converse with her at all during the first few days of the trial?
Yes.
Was there anything remarkable about her conversation that alerted you to a mental impairment?
No.
Now, I do want to jump into the time frame after she testified.
Okay.
Were you present for her testimony?
Yes.
Okay. Did you view, and that was a Thursday, do you recall that it was a Thursday?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know after court concluded for the day, did you speak to Miss Vander Ark after the proceedings ended?
I don't remember if it was, I know I did on Friday. I don't know if I did on Thursday after court proceedings finished.
So let's jump to Friday.
Okay.
Did you respond to the jail?
Yes.
And you observed Miss Vander Ark in the holding cell?
Yes.
Could you tell the court what you saw?
Yes, I was on my way to court when Mr. Johnson contacted me and said that he needed my assistance down in the jail because Ms. Vander Ark was having a difficult time. So when I arrived, he was already in the holding cell with her, and she was very distressed. She did not want to go upstairs and repeatedly said that she couldn't do it. And Mr. Johnson and I repeatedly, we tried, I guess every way we could think of to try to provide the support that she would need to go upstairs. So I don't know how much detail you want me to.
So let's unravel this a little bit. So Mr. Johnson was actively attempting to get her to come to court.
Yes.
And you were assisting him on that?
Yes.
And it was your testimony that she did not want to come up to court. Is that correct?
Correct.
Did she say it in those words that she didn't want to come?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Was she experiencing any psychosis?
She did not appear to be experiencing psychosis. I would say that she appeared to be very anxious.
How was her speech?
It was, I would say, pressured, but kind of like going back to those pieces that I touched on earlier, although pressured, it was still logical. It was relevant to the topic at hand. She wasn't making those loose associations. So I would say again that pressured speech would be consistent with anxiety.
Was she oriented?
Yes.
Okay, meaning she knew who she was and where she was at.
Absolutely.
And from her conversations or her statements, she knew what was upstairs, which was a trial, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Did she appear to understand sort of what would occur at the trial?
Yes. Yes.
So she understood that there'd be additional witnesses.
Correct.
And sort of the court process.
Yes.
Okay. So she wasn't delusional?
No.
She wasn't catatonic?
No.
And when I say catatonic, what do you take catatonic to mean?
The most kind of classic catatonia presentation.
Yeah, she thinks she gives out life advice. There is a life coach. Didn't she also want to open up her own daycare? And she was like, I think I'd be a good nanny or something like that. Wasn't it her that said that bullshit? Yeah, she's out there living her best life. I know that she's still the most hated woman in Florida right now, but no, she's not giving out any kind of good advice. at least a life coach. Oh my God, good Lord. Well, what about her wanting to be opening up a daycare? I'm pretty sure. Yeah. No. She don't need to be coaching anybody on anything. She just needs, look, she likes being at the bars, let her stay at the bars, hang out with her friends and the dudes. She don't need to be hanging around nobody giving out life advice. I still can't believe she's out there. I hope people are still throwing drinks in her face. Do y'all remember that video? Oh, it was so glorious. She was out there at a bar fighting with people, and she got a whole ass drink thrown in her face. She will have to answer for what I know. She will. She will. And the public still hates her. I don't know how she has friends. It must be for the clout. Yeah, that was awesome Mustang. I know.
Is one that is withdrawn. So in that particular presentation, oftentimes people are not responsive to communication. They might not even be responsive to touch or painful stimuli. They often are not eating, they're not drinking, they are kind
That's right. She wasn't. She did break up somebody's marriage, didn't she, Coco? She did. She became a homewrecker after that. Yeah, that lady's got no good advice. Listen, if y'all are signed up for any kind of life coaching from her, y'all absolutely need to go seek some help and not from her, from somebody else. I remember that, Cal.
of in a stupor.
Did you see any of those signs with Ms. Vander Ark on that day?
No.
Were you present for any discussions about Ms. Vander Ark waiving her right to appear at court?
Yes.
Could you tell the court what those discussions were?
When we were in the holding cell and there was a great deal of back and forth, I would say. At times, Mr. Johnson would leave to, I believe, go upstairs and communicate with those who were up here, whether in chambers, about the status of Ms. Vander Ark, that she was having a difficult time. He would return, and eventually, it was my understanding that, since it became apparent she was not going to come upstairs to court, that she could waive that participation. And so that was explained to her. I could not tell you, I guess, the exact language that Fred used.
To her?
Mr. Johnson. Yes.
But there was discussion of that.
Yes.
And were you aware that she filled out an affidavit or a signed document of some sort regarding her waiving her presence in court?
I guess I don't remember that exactly, no.
But you do specifically remember Mr. Johnson explaining
Yes.
that to her?
Yes.
What was her response?
That is what she wanted to do.
Okay. Did she vacillate at all on that, or was she clear?
She was clear.
Did she give any further commentary on it?
If anything, I would say that she seemed appreciative because she very much did not want to go upstairs. So she felt, or it appeared as though she felt relieved by that option.
So if there's a claim now that she never waived her right to not come up to court, is that accurate?
No, as I said, I cannot recall seeing her sign an affidavit. I do remember it being explained to her, though, that this is what she would be opting to do, and that she verbally said that, yes, that's what she would like to do.
Did you see anybody pressure
Getting told on.
her into that choice?
No, it was quite the opposite. I feel like we were putting as much pressure as we possibly could to encourage her to come upstairs.
Thank you. I have nothing further.
All right, Mr. Ambrose.
Did you say that you were on the call with Dr. King?
Yes.
And
Alfalfa looking ass.
you're part of the Muskegon County Defender's Office?
Correct.
Your involvement with Ms. Vander Ark and Mr. Johnson, more or less working together as a team, is that an accurate assessment? Okay. Did you view Dr. King's evaluation?
I'm sorry?
Did you review Dr. King's written evaluation?
Yes.
And in his evaluation, do you recall him stating that Ms. Vander Ark continues to insist she did nothing wrong and was not convinced that her actions and instructions caused the death of her son?
Yes.
On December 15th, what was your observation of Ms. Vander Ark? I mean, where was she when you first observed her?
Was December 15th Friday?
That final day of trial.
Thank you. When I first arrived, she was in the holding cell with Mr. Johnson.
What was her physically where was she? Was in the holding cell, but how was she? Was she in a chair? Was she laying down? What was her condition?
I believe that she was sitting in a chair, and if I may.
She was hanging from the ceiling. What do you think?
I believe she was sitting kind of with her knees drawn into her chest.
Okay. Did you appear after Mr. Johnson?
Correct.
Okay, and so he was already in there with her, though?
Yes.
Did you ever request that she be seen by any medical personnel?
No.
You mentioned her speech was pressured. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Sure. When I say pressured speech, I primarily mean that it was kind of a rapid pace. I would say that's what I mean, is that she was speaking very quickly.
I have nothing further, thank you.
So, how is it that you didn't request medical on December 15th of 2023?
From my perspective, it didn't appear to be a medical crisis in nature. She wasn't expressing medical concerns, wasn't expressing, pain, anything of that nature. It seemed to be more, as I mentioned earlier, kind of anxiety related.
Do you think that did it appear to you that it was sort of related to the situation of the trial?
Yes.
Okay. So there wasn't an actual medical issue that you were concerned about?
No.
Thank you. I have nothing further.
Mr. Ambrose, any follow-up?
You're not a medical doctor.
I'm not.
Okay. And, yeah, I have nothing further, thank you.
All right. May this witness be excused? Ms. Bloomquist?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Ambrose, may the witness be excused?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Kotecki. You can sit down. Does anybody need to take a break right now?
I'm at the court.
Why don't we take a 15-minute break just in case Ms. Vander Ark needs a break, and then we'll be back here at 2:30.
She's like, I want to go.
We're in recess.
That's right. That's right, Nikki. No one ever thinks about the consequences. They're too selfish thinking about what they want to do. And then it's poor me.
Kind of off.
See, I knew if I did that, I was going to go up too much. All right. I'm just going to let it play. Daggone button.
The whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, put your hand down and grab a seat. Please state your name for the record, spelling your first name and last name.
Catherine, Katherine, Evans, Evans.
Go ahead, Ms. Bloomquist.
Where are you currently employed?
The Sheriff's Department, Muskegon County Sheriff's Department,
And what's your current assignment?
Court Sheriff's Deputy.
So you work here in the courthouse, correct?
Yes.
And back a couple years ago, were you assigned to work the trial of the people of the state of Michigan versus Shanda Vander Ark?
Yes.
Okay, and what was your role in that trial?
It was my job to transport her from the jail to the court and then up to the courtroom and then back down.
So specifically drawing your attention to the final day of the trial, do you recall a situation that occurred in the holding cell of the jail?
In the court services area?
Well, I guess, thank you for correcting a poorly worded question. Did you have interactions with Ms. Vander Ark on the morning of December 15th, 2023?
Yes.
Where did those happen?
In the court services area.
Okay. And is that a holding cell of sorts?
There are holding cells, but where we mostly interacted would have been kind of off to the side.
So you did in fact interact with Ms. Vander Ark?
Yes.
Okay. And did you see her have interactions with her attorney, Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Were you a part of any of those?
I was not.
Okay. Is it pretty standard procedure that once the attorney's there, you're not involved, correct?
Correct.
At some point, though, did you have communication with Ms. Vander Ark?
Yes.
And what did she say?
I was putting a taser on her ankle for coming up for court.
Is that standard procedure?
Yes, everyone that's in a jury trial.
Okay. So you're putting the taser on, and then what happens?
And she made a comment to me saying that if she comes up here, she was gonna attempt to run.
Did she appear?
Oh, she's a little badass now, huh? She said, I'm gonna run. You take me up there, I'm gonna go. What? I bet she didn't.
Appear alert and aware of what was going on around her?
Yes.
Did she know what the taser was being put on for?
Yes.
To go to
We've
court,
done it multiple times throughout that trial.
Okay. And had you been the one personally to put that on her the other days?
I don't recall, but me or Levine.
Okay. But one of you?
Yes.
Would put that on her before court every day of her trial?
Yes.
And this was the last day, correct?
Yes.
And did she appear catatonic?
No.
Did she appear to be conversational?
Yeah. Talked.
Okay. Anything about your conversation with her that made you think that she was having a mental health episode?
No.
Okay. Thank you. I have nothing further for you, Deputy.
All right, Mr. Ambrose.
Was your former name Bassett?
Yes.
Okay. And
Oh, you guys know what? Summer Wells went missing 5 years ago as of the 15th, right? Today. I think it was 5 years ago today that she went missing. I might be wrong. Bless that little sweet baby too. I hope we find her.
what was your first encounter with Ms. Vander Ark on December 15th, 2023?
Probably when she came down to get dressed for the jury trial.
Let's put some hearts in the chat for little summer moon wells. There's some little moons. Yeah. Little baby summer. Justice for summer. Yes.
And you mentioned that she stated something along the lines of that she would run.
Yes.
Okay. Do you recall preparing any type of report about Ms. Vander Ark from December 15th, 2023?
In reference to that situation?
Or any situation?
Not that I recall.
Your Honor, may I approach you with this? Can you identify that?
Yes.
What is that?
It's a report that was done by the jail.
And your name's on it, correct?
Correct.
Deputy Bassett.
Yes.
And in this report, there was a remark about her being, Miss Vander Ark being suicidal.
Correct.
And is there anything in there about her stating that she was going to run?
No, because this more than likely would have happened after the whole situation.
Okay. And
I did not type that report.
okay, fine. But you were there.
I assisted the jail in a situation because you need 2 females.
Okay. And she was placed in a suicidal.
Yes.
That seems to me a pretty drastic situation.
Correct.
Nothing further.
I have no follow-up.
Deputy Evans, how many times were you working through most of the trial for Ms. Vander Ark?
If I recall, I was here every day.
Okay. Did you have a chance to observe Mr. Johnson with Ms. Vander Ark? I mean, whether it be in passing or even up in the court area, anything like that?
There was a few times where I had transported Vander Ark and Mr. Johnson down the elevator to the jail, and then that way they could talk in private.
And when you went down to the jail, were you ever standing outside the room? Did you kind of hold there and just wait until they needed to come back up?
No, normally I would go back to like our office, which is like a bubble, and they were kind of on the other side of the glass.
Okay. Did you ever observe them body language of not getting along, being upset with each other, being angry at each other, any arguing, yelling, anything like that?
No, never heard any yelling. I didn't know if it was a while ago, so sorry, but I don't recall any body language or anyone being upset.
So, I mean, as far as you didn't observe any behavior would indicate that Ms. Vander Ark and Mr. Johnson were having some sort of disagreement or argument?
I didn't see anything.
All right. Any follow-up to that, Mr. Ambrose?
No.
Mrs. Bloomquist?
None, Your Honor.
All right, may this witness be excused,
Yes.
Ms. Bloomquist? Mr. Ambrose?
Yes.
All right, you can stand down, Deputy. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, you can call your next witness.
People call Deputy Tim Levine.
All right.
Yeah, it's more important information.
I don't know how many witnesses there are. So I think this is the last witness for this day, and then I think it's just her after this.
I was just using.
All right, Deputy Levine, if you want to come Come right on up front here. And please raise your right hand to be sworn. This matter now pending. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, put your hand down and grab a seat. Please state your name for the record, spelling your first name and last name.
Tim Levine, Timlavigene.
Go ahead, Ms. Bloomquist.
All right, good afternoon, Deputy. How are you?
Good afternoon. Good.
So where are you currently employed?
Muskegon County Sheriff's Department.
How long have you been employed there?
Oh, probably 14 here.
Okay, and what's your current assignment?
I am with the Court Services Division.
And back in 2023, were you also assigned to court services?
I was.
Okay, and were you specifically assigned to assist at certain points in the Shanda Vander Ark trial?
I was accompanying her up here for the trial.
Okay, so you would assist in transporting her from the jail to the courtroom?
Correct.
And specifically drawing your attention to the last day of trial, which would be December 15th of 2023. Do you recall a situation that occurred in the court services holding area?
I do.
Okay, could you describe what happened to the judge?
Well, I believe she was
So far, yes, she was found guilty. So she was found guilty in her original trial, and she got life without parole. And hello, never growing up. And that was that. Well, she appealed that and asked for a new trial. So this is the first portion of her new hearing for a new trial. I'm about to start the second portion. But we just found out, and I announced it at the beginning of this, that the judge finally came back and has denied her a new trial. So she's not going to get one, but we're going to go ahead and finish this out. Just since we're at the end of it anyways. So that's why we're doing this. But after this, you guys, I'm going to take a short break, but yes, it is wonderful news. But since we've gotten the news that Adam Montgomery's convictions were overturned, for Harmony, when I come back, we are going to be starting that trial over to refresh ourselves and also give awareness to the people that don't know about that case or have not seen that trial before Adam's new trial starts. And he didn't show up not one day to his original trial, and I wonder if he's going to show up to this next one because he knows that that didn't make him look good, and his attorneys are going to say, hey, that didn't make you look good. So, right, Mustang, there have. You've got Alex Murdoch, you got Letitia Stout, and then you've got Adam Montgomery right now, and I don't know who else, but I was getting worried about this one, but thankfully, I just looked at the news this morning. Yep, absolutely far, but finally we got a judge with enough sense that said, So, but when we come back, we're starting the Adam Montgomery trial. Yeah, PJ, if you want to, we can. Because are you covering it too? Are you doing the trial or are you doing some? I don't know what you're doing. Nice. Yeah, I'm just gonna play the full trial and then hopefully we'll be finished before his new one. Yeah, PJ, we could talk about that. Richard Allen is up for oral arguments in September, another one that may be granted. Oh, wow. That's wild. Hey, Kai, good to see you. I'm doing recap and the trial. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I don't know. I usually do like a little recap at the beginning and then the trial, so but on this one I just did little parts. So the Adam Montgomery one is gonna be the whole thing. So everything is possible at this point, Mustang. I have no faith in our justice system anymore. Today gave me a little bit of faith, but yeah, let's get back into this.
Refusing to come up here during the trial at some point. And we decided that we would have a form made up that she was refusing to come up here. And I had our court services secretary draft a little form for her to sign. And I took it to her, along with my secretary, notary public, in the holding area of the jail, where I found her, her attorney, Fred Johnson, and I believe a social worker in the cell together talking.
And so she had multiple people there with her at that time, is that correct?
That's correct.
And did she, in fact, sign the document?
She did.
And how was her demeanor while she signed it?
She seemed fine to me. If I remember right, I believe her and her attorney were just sitting on the floor next to each other, talking.
Did anybody force her to sign this form?
No,
Did anybody threaten her that you saw or heard?
no, that's the exact purpose of the form that we had made up.
Okay. Did she appear to understand what the form meant?
Yes,
And it's your testimony her attorney was there with her?
correct.
Do you recall any conversations that her and Mr. Johnson had that you heard?
No, I didn't. No,
Is that pretty standard that you wouldn't be present for attorney-client communications?
right,
Protocol?
correct.
Okay. Now, this, I know you answered this already, but you didn't threaten her to sign this.
No,
So I'm showing you what's been pre-marked as People's Proposed Exhibit 3. Could you identify what that document is for the record?
yes, this is the form that our secretary typed up and I presented to her. She signed it, I signed it, and our secretary signed it.
Your Honor, at this point in time, the people would move to admit People's Exhibit 3. I would also note that this has been in the court record as Court's Exhibit Number 1 as well.
Oh, okay. Mr. Ambrose?
No objection.
All right, it's admitted, so this is Exhibit 3 for today's purposes. Admitted without objection.
And Your Honor, if I may publish?
May. Thank you.
Deputy Levine, based on anything you observed with Ms. Vander Ark on that morning, was there a medical emergency that occurred?
Not that I recall.
And did Ms. Vander Ark make any comments to you about coming to court?
Other than she didn't want to come to court, no.
Okay, you heard her say that?
Well, yeah, that's why we were there.
Thank you, I have nothing further, but Mr. Ambrose will have a couple questions.
All right, Mr. Ambrose.
You mentioned that Ms. Vander Ark and Mr. Johnson were talking to each other
Yes, in the cell, in the holding cell.
in a holding cell. Can you describe for me and for the court what the holding cell consists of?
This one particularly was a cell that,
Hi, I know, an absolute punchable face, and it already looks like it's been punched a couple times, to be honest with you.
there's no chairs. It's just a very small, single occupant cell. I mean, 5 feet wide, 7, 8 feet deep, and they were sitting on the floor. There's just a mat on the floor. That's where they have to sleep.
She doesn't
Okay.
need no more than that.
Was there, were you there with Deputy Bassett at the time her name was Bassett? Now it's Evans.
Well, I've been around her throughout the trial. I don't specifically recall if she was standing next to me or not. I know our secretary was with me.
Who is Sergeant Vanderland?
He is a jail supervisor.
Were you aware that Ms. Vander Ark made her comment that she was suicidal?
Not to me. I don't know anything about that.
Did you ever observe her in a suicide event?
I have.
Was that on that day?
I do not recall if it was that day, but I've had to bring her to court numerous times, and I think she's been in and out of them.
Was there any request made by yourself or anybody that you're aware of that requested any type of medical assistance for Ms. Vander Ark?
I think some of our deputies have in the past.
On that particular day of December 15th, do you recall?
I do not recall if she needed medical help that day.
Okay, no further questions, Your Honor. Thank you.
Just a couple briefly that I apologize, I missed these on direct. Deputy Levine, are you aware of the video recording capabilities of the jail? That there are cameras?
Correct.
And unfortunately, is it true that there are no videos of the holding cell currently due to time constraints?
Correct. Once I was subpoenaed for this, I asked to see it, and apparently they only hold the data for 30 days if it's not requested.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Mr. Ambrose?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Deputy, whose idea was it to draft Exhibit 3?
I believe it was mine.
Okay, all right. When it was presented to Ms. Vander Ark, were you present? So my question is, did you walk in the room with the form, hand it to Mr. Johnson, and then she signed it? Is that what happened?
Yes.
Essentially? Okay. Did Mr. Johnson or Ms. Vander Ark ask for privacy to discuss the form?
I don't believe so.
Prior to the drafting of this, did you speak to Mr. Johnson? Hey, listen, you want us to type up this form or something, or was it more, hey, here's this? I mean, did he have any part in the idea to draft it or not draft it?
No, because I had it drafted before I got into the jail where she was being held.
Can you tell me why that you had the idea to draft this? I mean, what was the motivation behind?
Well, mine is so I wouldn't have to appear later to say I coerced her into saying something that I didn't want to go. I just, here, sign this, and
okay.
I would bring it up to the attorneys.
In all your, I mean, I'm assuming that while you were bringing people up and down, did you have an opportunity to see Mr. Johnson interact with Ms. Vander Ark?
Yes.
In transport or either up here or those kind of things?
Yes.
At any point in time, did they seem to be, just in terms of body language or things, maybe voices, did they seem to be arguing with each other or be upset with each other or having any disagreements with each other?
No, never seen anything like that.
All right. Seem to be getting along okay?
Correct.
All right. Including the last day of trial when he was talking to her in the holding cell?
Yeah, again, I'm in the area, I don't listen to what goes on, but no, I've never heard any outbursts, if that's what you're asking her.
It's like I ain't paying attention to what they're talking about.
You fell up to that, Mr. Ambrose? Or I should say, I think it was Mrs. Bloomquist. Any other thought, Ms. Bloomquist?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Ambrose, anything?
No, thank you.
All right, may this witness be excused?
Yes.
And Mr. Ambrose, may this witness be excused?
Yes.
All right, thank you, Deputy. Okay, well, that brings us to the matter of Mr. Roberts. Just in terms of, just as an offer of proof, Ms. Bloomquist, what is he potentially going to testify to?
Thank you, Your Honor. Yes, it's my understanding and my anticipation is testimony that he has some testimony about some in-chambers discussions that occurred about the involuntary manslaughter instruction, as well as the commentary as opposed to admitting the entire video, as well as, I was unaware of this until just a few moments ago.
That is involuntary no.
Apparently, Mr. Roberts and Mr. Johnson went and spoke to jurors after the conclusion of the trial, and there was one juror who I believe was hesitant and took a little longer to convict, and her purpose for that was apparently to give credit to Mr. Johnson's strategy and theory of the case and arguments that he made. So I think as it relates to the soundness of Mr. Johnson's strategy, I think that's pertinent evidence.
All right, Mr. Ambrose, are you objecting to the testimony itself, or just now it's being sprung on you right now, or?
I mean, I would like to review the transcripts and prepare a little bit better than just being sprung on.
And I will say, Your Honor, it was not my intent to spring it. It's just that it came up in a conversation naturally, and then I was like, oh.
I'm just in my head contemplating what kind of prep work. I mean, I don't, there's no transcripts of anything discussed in chambers. There's no transcripts of anything to talk to a juror. I mean, I suppose the only way I guess you prepare Mr. Ambrose would be to question Mr. Roberts, or at least because he's a witness, essentially given an opportunity to talk to him. I mean, is there anything other prep work you would do? I mean, I'm just trying to figure out what would the additional time yield for you in terms of preparation, just for that testimony. It just seems like there's nothing. If this was another witness who had testified previously at another hearing or had made other statements to the police, or I'm just trying to figure out what the time would be needed for, besides just general kind of catching your breath kind of thing. So
I like to prepare.
Yeah.
And, I walk into these types of hearings with a set of, an outline of what I'm going to, points I'm going to make and so forth. And off the top of my head, I have a few questions I can ask them, but, knowing ahead of time, I could probably do a better job at that.
Okay.
And I think we're going to come back anyways, and that'll give me enough time to think about that.
All right. Well, okay, so this is where the court's at. I mean, it's 3:00. We do have another 2 hours potentially. I am ready to go in terms of testimony, okay? Mr. Ambrose, it's my understanding that your client, and like I said, I don't want this to come up later saying that this thing is being delayed. I'm ready to take testimony. So if she's saying I can't do it today, and are you still requesting an adjournment to allow her to?
Oh my God, we're still doing this.
Her to be in better health prior to testimony?
I am.
Okay, all right. Ms. Vander Ark, is that your decision?
Yes.
All right. All right, anything else, Ms. Bloomquist?
No, Your Honor.
All right, well, we'll adjourn for today, and then Mr. Roberts hopefully will make himself available to Mr. Ambrose if he has any questions, as any other potential witness should. He obviously doesn't have to, but if he can, that would be good. And we will schedule this for another date, hopefully sooner rather than later. My preference is going to be sooner, so hopefully we can get this done. Anything else before we adjourn, Ms. Bloomquist?
No, Your Honor.
And so that was that for part one of her motion for a new trial. And so I want to say that weeks went by before she was able to come back for the second part, which we're about to start. Let me see what people, Stormy, a woman doing what real women, mothers should be doing, looking out for the babies. Thank you. I'm not a mom, but the babies matter. What'd you say? She's such a hypocritical or hypochondriac. But okay, yeah. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Mustang. You're welcome. So we're gonna start this second and last part, you guys. And then this will be it. And this portion is 1 hour and 22 minutes and 42 seconds. If you guys can sit through it, awesome. If you can't, no problem, but I'm going to run it through. That way we could just get it out of the way. And when I come back, we're going to start the Adam Montgomery trial. So let's get this going. And I believe that she when she comes back, she gets on the stand, so we'll see. Oh, here we go with the pigtails again.
Please be seated.
Her bunkie felt bad for her. She was like, "Did you see how I looked? I looked awful." She came back and said, "I looked like shit because you guys wouldn't help me out." And then she stole their ramen and instant coffee. Yeah, they helped her out this time, huh?
Right, before the court is filed 2023-110-FC with the state of Michigan versus Shanda Vander Ark. Are you Shanda Vander Ark? Yes. All right, Ms. Vander Ark appears before the court with her attorney, Mr. Ronald Ambrose. Ms. Lindquist is here on behalf of the people of the state of Michigan. Setting time for a continuation of a hearing on...
The hairdo is back. Who was it that said something about, Simi, was it you that said something about, something about, oh, I can't think of it right now. It'll come back to me. It'll come back to me.
A defendant's motion for a new trial. I believe we are at the point where Ms. Vander Ark was going to testify. Is that correct, Mr. Ambrose?
It is, Your Honor.
Okay, is that your understanding, Ms. Lindquist?
That is, Your Honor. At the last hearing, we took some of my witnesses out of order so that we could just kind of get something done on the record. I believe it was November 25th.
Oh, they said Little House on the Prairie from Hell braids or something like that.
Okay, all right, Mr. Ambrose, you can go ahead and call your first witness.
Yes, Shanda Vander Ark.
All right, Ms. Vander Ark, if you want to come right around here, please remain standing and raise your right hand.
I think
And
we've
on
all
your seat, please state your name for the
Oh,
record.
here she
Spell your first
goes.
name and last.
Shanda Vander Ark, SHANDAVAND.
She's already limping up there with her poor me pitiful bullshit, y'all. Oh, we're in for a doozy. I need to refill my drink.
ER space capital ARK.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Ambrose.
And Ms. Vander Ark, you are the defendant in this case, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And when I say refill my drink, I mean my Sprite with grenadine and ice.
Your attorney at the trial court level was who?
Fred Johnson.
Fred Johnson. And when did you first meet with Fred Johnson?
About the case, the day after, 2 days after I was arrested.
Okay. And can you tell the court what your conversations were with Mr. Johnson?
That first day, we just kind of talked in general. We said from day one that I was going to have to testify. So we talked about that. He talked about he was putting together a team to work on it. And I remember one thing of all the weird things to remember. He asked me what my favorite TV show was, and he was going to have an intern watch it and then come in and tell me about it every week, just to have that time. But there wasn't a whole lot of specifics that day. We were just talking. He asked about my mental health. And
was there any a point in time that you ever conceded your guilt in this case?
Never.
Did you always relay to Mr. Johnson that you were not guilty?
Yes.
All right. Have you ever been charged with anything?
No, I've never even gotten a parking ticket.
Okay. You have testified in this case, correct?
Yes, sir.
Prior to testifying in this case, had you ever testified before?
Yes, sir, when I was a kid.
How old were you?
Oh gosh, from age 8 up through, I think about 16 was the last time my biological father tried to get visitation or custody of us.
Okay. Was being charged in this case, can you describe your mental health immediately after being charged, I guess?
Oh, horrible. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. I actually didn't eat for 18 days after I got to Muskegon County Jail. It was, I didn't know which way was up.
And just as a bit of a background, when did you move to Michigan?
Oh gosh, 2015, I think.
Okay, and
my little guy was like 6 months old.
Okay, so it was, who moved to Michigan with you?
It was my late husband Adam and little man and myself. That was it.
Okay, and at some point Paul comes to Michigan?
Yes.
Do you recall when that was?
He had just turned 18 and graduated high school, so that was.
It bothers me that she calls her younger son little man or little G. Not because of that. Every mother should be endearing to their child, and it's cute, little man, little G, it's cute. But what's not cute is that she's favoring that child over her other children in front of her other children, and he's seeing that as well. He was in the environment. He saw what they were doing to his older brother, and it just makes me feel uncomfortable because Paul was just Paul and Timothy wasn't even treated as if he was a human. So it's not because she was being sweet to him in a motherly way, because that's what mothers should do. It was because she was being sweet to him in a motherly way and not to her other children, if that makes sense. Exactly, Simi. That's what I'm saying.
2020, I was in the middle of COVID.
Okay, and sometime after that, Timothy arrives.
A year later.
Do you remember the month?
I want to say it was the end of May, because school had let out.
Okay. May of 2021?
Yes, sir.
Right. And I think during your testimony in this trial, he came with like a bag of medications.
A gallon-sized Ziploc bag, yeah.
All right.
Me too. It's fun. Just kidding. It's not fun.
What were the medications for?
Well, he was diagnosed ADHD, sensory processing disorder, bipolar, and on the autism spectrum, but he was very high functioning. And so that was, he had, I don't remember the name of any of them really, but there was one that made him like a zombie that he took twice a day. And I mean, I think there was probably 8 or 9 medications per day that he was taking.
Why did he move to Michigan?
I got a text from his dad one day that he could no longer deal with him, that Timothy was pushing his buttons, that if he did not come to live with me, my ex was going to put his hands on him.
And so in May of...
And asked me to take him, yes, and I took him.
From May and when he first arrived, what was his behavior like?
I mean, he was about to turn 15 when we got him, so he was a teenager, but nothing outlandish. I mean, he was trying. He did not care to tell the truth hardly at all. There's no point in asking him a question pretty much the whole time. But he would do stuff. He took my youngest toys at times. He broke a couple of them, and then he took some stuff from Paul. But like, it was just typical teenage. It wasn't anything that we couldn't handle. So.
In January of 2022, a significant event happens.
My late husband Adam had a stroke January 3rd of 2022.
Okay.
A massive stroke.
And how did that impact the household?
Better question is probably how didn't it? I lost his income. I was already the primary breadwinner, but then I'm the sole breadwinner. We had a babysitting schedule worked out for the little guy, and with Paul and Timothy, at that point we didn't leave Timothy alone with the little one, really. And, you know, I was working full-time. I was gone because of the location I worked and driving over there and driving back. I was gone from the house 12 hours a day, 5 days a week. So everything just fell apart. You know, I wasn't paying bills on time. I was barely surviving.
Was Timothy being watched by your late husband prior to January?
Yes, yeah. Him and the little guy. And Paul.
I think you mentioned that in your direct testimony, this was around Mother's Day of 2022. Timothy was about 104 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
And you knew that because he picked up the dog.
He weighed the dog. I could no longer lift. It was a Great Dane puppy that was 6 months old at the time. And the dog weighed 102 pounds. There was no way I could lift that dog.
Okay.
And so he got on the scale, weighed himself, grabbed the dog, got on the scale.
I weigh 102 pounds. That's crazy. I love all kinds of dogs, but I can't have a big dog because I'm so small. I'll have to have small dogs. They'd be walking me. Oh, thank you, Mustang. No problem. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening.
What happens from that day until July 6, 2022?
I mean, from what little I remember, it was the same thing that had started when the stroke happened. Timothy, I remember a couple times, he flat out told me, he said, I'm going to keep doing stuff until you just let me do what I want. And I said, that's not happening. And it just snowballed. I don't remember a peaceful moment after the stroke for one reason or another. And that's not all on him. I mean, it was just in general, but he certainly created a lot of it.
He dies on July 6, 2022, correct?
A month before 16.
When are you arrested?
July 7th.
And are you immediately taken to the Muskegon County Jail?
You mean on the 7th?
Yes.
Yes, from the Norton Shores Police Department.
Okay. What's the...
I should not have put grenadine in this cherry Sprite. It is already very, very cherry. I've been on this soda kick lately. I don't know why. Cherry Coke and Sprite with grenadine. But I got a cherry Sprite and I did not expect the flavor to be that strong. And I put grenadine on top of it, and now it's just like a punch to the face with sweetness. Anyways, y'all are going to be irritated because throughout this entire thing, she blames Timothy for what happened to Timothy. She blames everything on him and nothing on herself. And the smug look she has on her face the entire time.
What were your conditions like in the Macomb County Jail, or Muskegon County Jail?
It was awful. I was on max security solely because of my charges, so I was isolated completely by myself in a room.
When you say max security, what was it like?
You're in a room by yourself. You only have the option of getting out of the room into the pod 1 hour a day, so you're locked down 23 hours a day. For me, I was in such bad shape, I couldn't eat. I barely slept. I mean, the whole 17 and a half months there, I might have averaged an hour or two of sleep a night. And there was no mental health treatment. I mean, they tried a couple of meds, but they did nothing. And I kept asking to speak with the doctor, because it was always a social worker. And she said, oh, you're on the waiting list. And I guess the waiting list was longer than 17 and a half months. But I met with her a few times, and she was no help at all. She'd say, oh, I'll meet with you once a week, or I'll meet with you once a month, and that never happened.
So it wasn't because of anything that you did, it was just the nature of your charges that they put you in max?
That's the only reason, yes.
How often, did you have mental health issues prior to that?
I have severe ADHD, and I have sensory processing disorder, and a little bit of OCD. I guess it was a month after I got to Huron Valley, I was diagnosed bipolar, which I've had my whole life, I guess, and didn't know it. But at the time, I just knew about the ADHD and the sensory processing.
How often during this time period would you see Mr. Johnson? From the time that you're incarcerated to?
I think the first month I saw him 2 or 3 times, but after that it was every once in a blue moon. I think he said it was once every other month. It didn't even seem like that often.
During your conversations with him, were you talking trial strategy?
A little bit. We didn't a lot, but we did a little bit.
Was it ever, well, tell me what the strategy was.
Well, on the child abuse charge, it was intentionally and knowingly, and that was, without that, the felony murder charge was gone. And so that's where we focused. It was never on I didn't even realize second degree would be an option until the day of jury selection. So we focused on the intentionally and knowingly from that, because that cost the felony murder charge.
Did you know manslaughter was an option?
We never talked about second degree or manslaughter until the day of jury selection. It was on the jury instructions for second degree. And then the last morning, when I had the breakdown, I vaguely remember him coming in and saying he got these instructions added. And I had no clue what to say. I was in bad shape, so.
Well, tell me about, I mean, you testified.
Yes.
And tell the court how you felt during your testimony.
Well, before the testimony started, and this was one of the things that really shocked me, while the medical examiner was testifying, Fred was writing down questions. He had not had any questions.
Non-responsive.
Sustained.
How were you feeling during your testimony?
Stressed, panicked, scared, terrified.
Okay. And how did your testimony end on that third day of trial?
I believe they were talking about jury questions, and I had a really bad panic attack.
Okay. And what happens after that?
Well, I had been in the room by myself in a pod.
Well, I mean, from the time that you leave the courtroom, this courtroom.
Yeah. Instead of going back to the pod, I guess the sheriff had decided to put me back down in holding instead of where I had been, where there was at least people around, even though I couldn't come out to see them.
Are you okay, so you're talking about in this
in Muskegon County Jail, yeah.
Oh, at the building, okay.
Yeah, so he separated me completely down in holding. And
did Mr. Johnson talk to you after that, on that third day?
No.
Okay. And what happens at the jail over the course of the night?
Well, I remember right after I got back, I was upset at the whole being separated, the lights don't dim, the noise level was horrible, and I was trying to think through trial stuff just to keep myself occupied. I had thought of some questions I wanted him to come back and try to ask me the next day, but then I don't know if I even slept for an hour that night, but I remember when I was, I don't want to say come to, when I was functioning, I was curled in a ball. I was freaking the heck out. I couldn't. When they first came to get me, I said, I can't even go. I can't leave the room. And they're like, well, you have to. Come on. And it just.
How were you taken from the jail to the courthouse or courtroom?
Well, we went to, I guess, where I changed clothes, and that's as far as I got. We walked over there.
Okay. We heard, you were in the courtroom and we heard some testimony that you were curled up in a ball. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Were you suicidal?
I don't remember saying it, but yes, apparently I made at least one comment that I was going to kill myself.
All right. Sounds pretty drastic. What else do you remember from that morning?
Y'all, I'm over here looking at the picture she sent me, and I almost closed this whole live out. I would not have even tried to get back on here. I would have just given up. If that ever happens and I don't come back on, it's because I gave up. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad that did not happen.
I remember just being sheer panic. I was frozen, like I couldn't even move. I remember laying up against the wall on the floor on my side on one of the concrete benches in one of the holding rooms that they tried to come upstairs and I couldn't do it. And so I went in there and curled up in a ball on my side. I was completely paralyzed. My brain was not working. Anytime I even thought about anything, I wanted to panic, and I had several panic attacks during that time.
Do you recall talking with Mr. Johnson during this time?
A little bit, yes, sir.
What was the nature of your conversation? Or was he talking to you, and you talking back, or what was it, how was it going?
I remember at one point he came in and said that he had fought for a while to get the involuntary manslaughter instructions put on, and I remember thinking, what's that got to do with anything? And then I specifically asked him, after we tried to come upstairs, I said, look, can we please adjourn this? I can't do this today. And I asked him several times, and he made a comment. He said, oh, it'll just be the same way if we do that. You're going to have the same issue. And then he said, well, we'll just go on without you, and then he left.
Do you recall signing the document?
No.
You've seen it since, though?
Yes, I have.
All right. Is that your signature or not?
I mean, it looks like it. It looks like a version of it.
Okay. But you don't recall signing? Is that a no?
No, sorry.
Did any medical personnel come to talk to you when you were in your condition?
No, sir.
Listen, y'all, my ADHD is so bad. I'm telling you, a fart in the wind will distract me. Any little pin drop, anything will distract me. So it's not hard. It's okay. Like I'll be doing something, I'll have one thing in my head. I'll go to another room to do that one thing, and I will do 12 other things except for the one thing. And that is my whole life in a bubble.
When you were testifying on that third day, did you ever concede that you were guilty of anything?
No, not for a second.
And as far as you knew, Mr. Johnson knew what your position was.
Oh, yes.
And what was that?
That I was not guilty. We had a visit. It was one of the last couple of visits I had with him, and he was actually the one that stated, we've been talking about the intentionally and knowingly, and he said, they don't have intentionally and knowingly, you're not guilty.
Bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
And I clung to that.
And the intentionally and knowingly phrase that relates to the first degree child abuse. And in your understanding, the ultimate charge was felony murder.
Yes, sir.
And the predicate offense was the first degree child abuse.
Yes, sir.
I don't have any further questions.
Any questions? Can you hear me? Is it all right if I move the podium? Good morning.
Morning.
So, Ms. Vander Ark, I just want to go back and ask you a little bit about your background, okay? So, were you a legal clerk, or what was your exact role at Newaygo County Circuit Court?
I was a law clerk.
Okay. And you were previously an intern in Muskegon County Circuit Court, correct?
Yes.
What were some of two positions?
Oh, sorry. Well, both of them. I did legal research. I helped score sentencing to make sure it was accurate. That was about the extent of it here because I was still in law school. When I worked for my judge in Newaygo, I actually did the research and I would draft opinions and then he would, decide if that was okay. And then most of the time he just signed off on them that I'd gotten it correct.
Is it fair to say that you worked on post-conviction motions for your judges?
Yes, I did several times.
including claims of ineffective assistance of counsel?
I would assume so. I don't remember.
And so in other defendants' cases, you would be writing draft opinions or bench memos for circuit court judges.
That's what I wrote. I don't think we had an ineffective assistance. I don't think so. I may be wrong, but I don't think so.
And it's your testimony that your opinions or your recommendation to the judge was so good, he just wrote off on it, signed on?
On most of the time. There was a few that he adjusted, but he would read them and then send them over to his clerk to publish, so.
And this all happened before you were criminally charged, correct?
Yes.
So even before you were at a trial, you are intimately familiar with post-conviction motions, correct?
I wouldn't say intimately familiar. Some of them I was familiar with, but.
Familiar.
Simi, she's so full of shit. And look at her sitting there so smug. She's blaming this on everybody but herself. Because she didn't get herself put there in that chair. Unbelievable. I can't stand her.
Clear enough for your judge to just rubber stamp what you
For
said?
a lot of what we did, actually most of what we did was civil. There was some criminal, but most of the motions and the work I did as far as writing was civil. He did both civil and criminal.
If he was ineffective, that means you were ineffective as well. She has no accountability, Cole. None. Yeah. If you're blaming him, blame yourself too. I don't think he was ineffective at all. I think he did the best with what he had, and he had you as a client. So, that's saying a whole hell of a lot right there.
Now, Ms. Vander Ark, you mentioned that Mr. Johnson had a team of individuals at the Public Defender's Office, correct?
Yes.
And could you tell the judge how many individuals were on that team?
I have no idea. I think total I met with overtime probably 6. And then he mentioned having somebody doing research and other people and other interns working on it, but that's the people.
Yeah, because your case was so fucking horrendous that they had to bring that many people in. I don't know how many people usually come in for stuff like this, but for a public defender to have to bring that many people in on a case, it's got to be really bad.
I met with, I don't know how many there were.
Okay. It wasn't just you and Mr. Johnson working on the case, though?
No, it wasn't.
He had social workers that assisted you?
Yes.
And sounds like interns as well?
Yes.
And other attorneys in his office?
Yes, I only met, as far as the criminal side, I only met with another attorney in his office. It was at one hearing, it was the gentleman that sat second chair, and then at trial. I didn't meet with any of the other attorneys otherwise.
And you said that Mr. Johnson began meeting with you approximately 2 days after your arrest?
Yes.
And he continued to meet with you throughout the pendency of the case?
Yes.
And his team would meet with you throughout the pendency of the case?
The social worker is the one I saw the most. I'm trying to think. I saw the intern some, but that was mostly it.
And when you say the social worker, do you recall, was that Melinda Katecki?
For the last 2 visits, I only saw her twice in person. And I think she was online once for a meeting with a doctor. But there was another social worker that met with me once a week, usually for the first few months, probably 6 months at least, and then she moved on from the office.
Now, Ms. Vander Ark, you've spoken quite a bit this morning about your medical, episode, for lack of a better term, medical.
FARQ, when I first watched this trial, I threw my phone a couple times across my bed because I was watching it on my phone. Because my husband's usually playing video games on the big TV, and I'll watch stuff on my phone or my tablet. So at that time, I was watching stuff on my phone, and I swear I threw it across the bed. I don't know how many times, because I've got anger issues. So, but yeah, that's why I couldn't play this whole trial because it's kind of hard to find, but it's definitely hard to watch, but I hope you watch the, yeah, I hope you, watch the Adam Montgomery trial with us when I come back.
Episode that happened mid-trial. Okay, so I'm going to go into that. But that's not the first episode you had during these proceedings, correct?
No.
Okay. And one of those happened at your preliminary hearing, or your preliminary examination, correct?
Yes.
And that occurred just before Paul was going to testify at the prelim, correct?
I believe so.
And your medical episode that happened in the trial happened right when you'd been confronted during cross-examination, correct?
I had one other one before trial, during trial.
Okay, when was that?
There were some police officers testifying.
And it's
I was sitting there and had a panic attack.
She's talking about when they were reading the text messages back and forth. She didn't like what she was hearing. She was like, oh God, I can't believe the jury and everybody on earth is hearing this. Yeah, girl, the dirt got aired. And she had a little panic attack there, and court had to be stalled again. So if I can remember that, she can remember that.
And they cleared the jury out.
And do you recall what the officer was testifying about when you had that episode?
No, I don't.
Probably something pretty significant about your case, though, correct?
I mean, I would assume so.
Or something about your son's condition?
I don't know.
It's fair to say that those episodes, though, don't happen all the time.
They do, well, they were beforehand and they still do happen consistently.
That's a poorly worded question, so I'll clarify here. Those episodes didn't happen on direct examination with your own attorney questioning you, correct?
They didn't happen, yeah.
They didn't happen during opening statements?
No.
Or jury selection?
Simi, I've already seen it. I watched it live. I'm just gonna replay it for everybody else.
No? They didn't happen during certain parts of your preliminary examination?
No.
But these episodes happen when you're confronted with evidence that you don't want to acknowledge or admit. Is that fair?
No, they happen when I was confronted with traumatic events. It was anything traumatic that got that bad.
So seeing your son, who was in your care for all those months, in a picture, was traumatic to you?
Yes, extremely.
But you've seen him every day that he was in your care, correct?
Yes, what I remembered, yes.
And then when you see a picture of him on that stand is when you have this episode.
Yes, I mean, I had panic attacks. Looking back, I know I had panic attacks previously, but I don't know what brought those on.
Nobody diagnosed you with a panic attack on the night of that trial, correct?
I don't know.
That's a yes or no?
I said I don't know.
Okay. You have no evidence that you had medical diagnosis of a panic attack that day?
That day? No. As far as I know, no.
And you have no medical diagnosis that you had a panic attack during your preliminary examination, correct?
There was no medical person called in.
Okay, so my question was, you don't have medical documentation of a panic attack that day?
No.
So let's talk about some medical documentation you do have. You recall Mr. Johnson submitted you to multiple individuals for forensic examination.
Yes.
And you met with those medical providers?
Yes.
And how many would you say, based on your memory, you met with?
A couple.
Okay. Would it surprise you that there's approximately 4 reports regarding your criminal responsibility or competency?
No.
Would it surprise you?
No, because I understand the process, so it doesn't surprise me.
Okay. What's your understanding of the process?
That both sides can get the competency evaluation and the responsibility evaluation.
And you understand that under Michigan law, you're presumed competent unless proven otherwise, or unless shown otherwise, correct? Yes. Okay. You've never been shown to be incompetent, correct?
Not medically, no.
No, not legally. Is that correct?
Yeah.
You have never had a legal determination that you are incompetent, correct?
Yeah.
And that's after meeting with these 4 providers, correct?
Yes.
And in fact, some of the providers called into question your rendition of facts to present to them. Do you recall that?
I don't recall that, but I'll trust if they said that.
Do you recall specifically? Let me go back here before we get into that. Do you remember your interviews with these providers?
Bits and pieces.
Do you feel that you were truthful with them?
Yes.
Do you feel that you appropriately explained your situation and your memory with them?
I hope so.
But you don't know, correct?
No, I don't.
Sorry, bear with me one moment, please. Your Honor, I'm referencing People's Exhibit 2, which I believe was attached to my brief, which would be a June 20th, 2023 report authored by a...
Hi, Lulu. Good to see you. It's just been a lazy no cam day.
Benjamin La Liberty, doctor. Now did you tell this doctor or this individual at the Department of Health and Human Services Center for Forensic Psychiatry that you disassociated during times that Timothy was in your care?
Yes, even times when he wasn't. I mean, it happened regularly, it still does.
Well, and that's my question. So, is your claim in this post-conviction motion that you were disassociating during parts of the trial?
I mean, I'm not a medical person, so I don't know, but that's the only answer I have.
Well, so I'm not asking you to give me a medical opinion. I'm asking you to tell me what you mean when you're saying you disassociate. So what do you mean when you say you disassociate?
Usually it's a panic attack and I have no clue what's going on around me. I don't remember anything during that.
And when you've said that on that day of trial, when you had your episode.
Yeah, she's real smug today, Lulu. She's like very monotone. Just look at her. I just want to push her out of her chair.
That you had a panic attack. But would that be a disassociation like you have just described?
During the panic attack, yes. They usually only last like 10, maybe 15 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Ms. Wilkins?
Yes.
I just want to interject. Ms. Vander Ark, can you describe to the court what you believe a panic, what you are experiencing, not the people. So what do you call panic attack? What are you experiencing during this event that you label as a panic attack?
It's one of 2 things on the breathing. Either I hyperventilate or I feel like I've got an elephant sitting in my chest and crushing it and I can't breathe.
So that's trouble breathing?
Yes. I'm shaking. My head is totally spinning.
So dizziness?
Yes, sir. I don't have a clue what's going on around me. I know people have tried to touch me during a panic attack, and that just freaks me out worse.
You mean painful?
No, just trying to make sure I'm okay.
So when somebody touches you, what do you experience when somebody touches you?
I pull away, and the panic gets worse.
Okay, so you're aware of somebody touching you?
When they actually put their hands on me, yes.
Okay. When you say you don't know what's going on around you, is it you have auditory problems or you can't hear, or you just have an inability to understand what's being said?
I think it's both. I mean, I don't remember anything that's been said to me during a panic attack. I I know I had a couple people scare me at Huron Valley. They were just playing around, but it caused a panic attack because I didn't know.
She's trying to say that it's a very dazed, confused feeling, that she doesn't really know what's going on around her, but she still knows that there are people there and she could still feel people touching her and she can still see people coming at her. Like I understand what she's trying to say.
They were there, and I guess they tried to talk to me and they said, yeah, we got no response, and I don't remember them trying to talk to me at all.
Okay.
It's like,
Yeah, you kind of like black out a little bit. She might be stretching the truth a little bit, though.
I'm down.
Any other symptoms?
It's like I go into a total darkness, like this black hole.
No, when you say darkness, are you seeing black?
I don't know about that. Like for me, if I'm out and I'm having a panic attack, I usually just need to be pulled away from people. Like I'll freak out, like internally, and I'll just need to get away from people. But like, what she's explaining, it's a little different. Like I might react and not realize how I'm reacting until after I've reacted, but I don't black out.
What do you see? Is it
Like
spots?
a black or gray, usually. I'll try to fix on a spot as it sets in, but then that's it. I don't see anything else.
Can you move? Are you able to move your arms, legs, extremities?
Not most of the time, no. I'll curl up into a ball and.
So let me ask you a question. Do you curl up in a ball? Do you consciously make the decision to curl into a ball to stop the symptoms? Or is it an
Exactly. I'll start feeling claustrophobic. I'll need to like get away from people because with my ADHD, like normal people, when they go into a grocery store, they can they could take their list, they can go through each section, focus on what they need to focus on. Not me. I'm hearing nothing but crying babies and wheels squeaking and at this person's conversation and that person's conversation and why this little kid's crying because they can't have this, toy in the toy aisle and why this coworker's getting in trouble over here. Like I hear everything and I get so overwhelmed that I just need to be pulled away from everybody.
involuntary movement into a ball?
It's an involuntary movement.
So involuntary movement into a ball. And then you don't know how much time passes?
No.
Is that what you're telling me?
No. I know that afterwards, I've had somebody there and look at the clock, and the only thing I could tell you I've had people say anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes that were around.
And you said these have happened while incarcerated currently?
Yes. They still happen
In
regularly.
your cell, in the common areas, where they happen?
Most of the time it's in my room.
In your cell?
Or in the restroom, yeah.
Room or restroom, okay. Any times when other inmates were around?
Yes.
Okay. So common areas?
Yes.
Okay. And you're aware that these areas are filled, correct?
Yes.
This would be on camera?
Yep.
Okay, so you're telling me that you experienced a panic attack where you curled in a ball on camera at the prison?
Yes. In the foyer of one of my units, somebody came up behind me and scared me. And
do you know approximately when that was?
I have well, I can give you a date range because there's a certain time I was in that unit. It would be somewhere between end of August of 24, and beginning of January of 2025. That was the time I was in that.
All right, thank you. I just want to make sure we understand each other about panics.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ms. Blue.
Let me clarify, you said August of 2024 through January of 2025?
Yes, I can give you the name of the unit if you want.
Yes, that would be helpful.
Gladwin A.
So, Ms. Vander Ark, now it seems like we're all on the same page about what you mean when you say panic or disassociate.
Yes.
Okay. And it's fair to say it's your testimony that you had that sort of episode mid-trial during your cross-examination. Is that your
Yes.
testimony?
Yes.
Now, are you aware, though, in People's Exhibit 2, that criminal responsibility report that I previously placed in the record, that it was noted by the clinician that your claims of disassociating, quote, only occurred when Timothy was bad? Are you aware of that in the report?
No, I'm not, because that's not true.
Okay. And overall, the opinion of the clinician was that when you described your current state, you did not describe any substantial functional impairments within the context of your current confinement.
If I said that, that's not true.
Well, that was his opinion.
That was his opinion? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know he said that, but that's...
And here, let's go further. On page 10, Your Honor, if I may approach. I'm showing the witness People's Exhibit 2, page 10. All right, Ms. Vander Ark, if you would look at that, and would you read right where that star starts? Please read that into the record.
Ms. Vander Ark was asked to recount her thoughts, feelings, and behaviors around the time of the alleged offense. However, Ms. Vander Ark claimed to have no memory of the events that led to Timothy's death, noting she frequently dissociated due to the stress of interacting with him.
And you can keep reading. Please read the whole paragraph.
Of note, this immediately appeared to be a self-protective response style as opposed to the result of a genuine memory deficit or bona fide dissociative condition. That is, her purported memory loss was noticeably selective and only involved the actions that allegedly caused the victim's passing. Thus, Ms. Vander Ark cannot be considered a credible historian. That's not true, but...
That's not true, but... She said that's not true, but whatever.
So, Ms. Vander Ark, we don't have an opinion from an expert that you were incompetent, correct?
Yes.
But we do have an opinion from an expert that you're not a credible historian, correct?
Looks like it.
Not a credible historian. Wow.
And that's specifically as it relates to your credibility about these disassociations you claim to have, correct?
That I have, yes.
That you claim to have, correct? Have you been diagnosed medically in any of these reports with a dissociative condition?
Not in those reports, no.
Now, you, one of your claims in this post-conviction motion is that you take issue with Mr. Johnson not calling an expert, correct?
If that's what's in there, then we discussed it briefly. I didn't know what he was doing, so as far as if he was going to call him or not.
So I just want to make sure I'm clear. You weren't sure if Mr. Johnson was going to call the expert or if we weren't going to have the expert here at this hearing?
For a while, I wasn't sure if he was going to call him at the trial.
Okay.
Sorry.
But you do recall meeting with Dr. King, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. How did you feel that meeting went with Dr. King?
Long.
Was it thorough?
I would assume so, yeah. I mean, I don't remember the whole thing, but I know it was exhausting.
Mm-hmm. Now, Dr. King also has some opinions as it relates to your credibility as a historian, correct?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay. So I'm looking here at Defendant's Exhibit B, page 10. And Ms. Vander Ark, I'm going to just start here where it says conclusion. Ms. Vander Ark overreported general psychological dysfunction and generated a larger than average number of infrequent responses. Are you aware that that was determined based on your psychological testing?
I mean, I think I've read it before.
You have no reason to dispute
No,
what
I'm
he
not
has in this
disputing, that's,
report.
I'm not disputing.
In fact, you actually attached this report to your motion for a new trial, correct?
Yep, my attorney did, yes.
On your behalf, though,
Yes,
correct? Yes. And so we have one clinician saying that you're not a credible historian and another saying that you over-report general psychological dysfunction, correct?
That's what they say.
Ms. Vander Ark, there is no medical opinion now that determined you were not competent to proceed with trial, correct?
Correct.
You have no medical evidence today that you've presented at this hearing, correct?
Correct. But nobody bothered to get any.
Your Honor, I'd move to strike that non-responsive answer from the record.
I will.
Thank you.
It is non-responsive.
So I'm going to shift gears here a little bit. In your direct examination, you've provided multiple other individuals that you want to place blame on for what happened in your criminal case. Is that fair to say?
I mean, I'm not going to dispute it, yes. I don't remember all that testimony.
Well, just today. Today you said that it was your ex-husband's fault that Timothy came into your care, correct?
Well, he asked me, yes. That's what he told me, and that's why I took him.
And it's your testimony that it's the jail's fault for your housing situation that exacerbated your mental health, correct?
I didn't have any choice in the matter, so yes.
So that's a yes or no. Are you blaming the jail for your mental health?
For making it worse, yes.
So we have, you're blaming the jail, you're blaming your ex-husband. Now, you've also blamed Timothy today, didn't you?
As far as what?
As far as his behavior.
Yep, she sure did. All she does is blame Timothy.
Is causing you to act the way you acted.
As far as causing chaos, yes. I mean, as far as causing stress, yes.
And now you blamed work as well, saying that caused stress. Your employment before your arrest.
I mean, work always causes stress.
This has been a consistent theme for you, where you want to blame others for things you've done, correct?
I've explained the situation.
Well, so what you're saying it's your ex-husband's fault, it's the jail's fault, it's Timothy's fault, it's now your trial attorney's fault that we're here. So is it fair to say it's a theme of yours to point the finger at others for what's going on in your case?
I wouldn't say it's a theme, no. That's an opinion. You can see the things that I had no say in that you can't blame me for.
Now let's talk about the testimony you had about your being held in, you said it was max security during the pre-trial phase?
Yes.
Correct? You said you were locked in there and isolated?
In a room by myself, yes.
Okay, yes. Was Timothy also locked in a room and isolated when you locked him in the closet?
He wasn't locked in, but he was in the room.
Yes, he was. Don't lie.
Yes.
Okay. When you had alarms on his door to keep him in that closet, was he isolated?
Yes.
And he'd be locked in there for hours at a time, correct?
I would assume so, yes. I don't...
Yes or no? Was he locked in there for hours at a time?
Yes.
And you want the court to use your isolation as a basis for making a determination about your mental health, correct?
It has an effect on it, yes, it does.
What about Timothy's mental health? What impact did your locking him away, isolated, have on his mental health?
I have no idea how to answer that.
Truthfully, it's what you're here to do.
That is truthfully. I have no idea how to answer that.
Now, you talked about some of his diagnoses, correct?
Yes.
Obviously, it wouldn't be beneficial to him to be isolated like that, correct?
Yes, I mean, he isolated himself too. He did not, there were kids in the neighborhood, and I actually specifically asked them. He wasn't the most coordinated kid in the world, but they were playing basketball one day, and I said, hey, can he come over? They said, anytime. He never wanted to do that. When we went to little man's baseball games, he stuck to himself or with us. He didn't want to go talk to the older kids.
So it's your testimony that Timothy isolated himself?
Some of the time. Not all the time, but some of the time.
Timothy, who you went to such lengths to keep away from your in-laws that you were tracking their location so that your child G would be outside when his grandparents arrived, is the one that isolated himself.
I did not. That was not the point of finding out where Mom was. It was because the house was a mess. It had nothing to do with Timothy. That thought it hadn't even entered my mind until I got asked about it at trial.
You expect the judge to believe that Timothy did this to himself, correct?
Can you define this?
Well, that's what your testimony is that he isolated himself.
I said some of the time, and you said this, that's...
Okay, I'll clarify. He isolated himself in that closet?
Some of the time. Some of the times downstairs,
Where he had nothing but a tarp in there? He isolated himself in there. Is that your testimony?
He tore apart a mattress. But...
That was not an answer.
Some of the time. I said some of the time.
Did he isolate himself in those ice baths?
I would have loved. No, I saw enough in just a couple of seconds of footage that I saw, but I would love to know how much footage there actually was that they were able to obtain and what they actually found on that footage. Because he was locked in that closet. There was a lock on top of the door, and when they came back the next day, she had removed it. And it was a sensory lock.
I wasn't there for that.
But you ordered it, correct?
I don't remember.
You had a cell phone at the time this happened, right?
Yes.
And you were messaging with your other son, Paul, correct?
Yes.
And those messages speak for themselves, right?
I'm not disputing the messages. I'm just telling you what I do and don't remember.
Now, you testified earlier today that during the time after your husband's stroke, you were, quote, barely surviving. Do you remember testifying to that?
Yes.
You were surviving just fine. It was Timothy that was barely surviving, correct?
I wasn't aware of enough of what was going on around me. I wasn't, I admit that.
Oh my God, ma'am.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
Test determined that was a lie.
Bullshit. Bullshit. Bullshit.
So good.
Now, another claim in your post-conviction motion is how your attorney, Mr. Johnson, handled the surveillance video from that closet, correct?
The motion about it, yes. Oh, yes, I know what you're talking about, yes, from the brief.
And so you are claiming that it was ineffective or deficient of Mr. Johnson to let the police officer testify to the contents of that video, correct?
I mean, if that's what's in, I trust my attorney with that, so.
Did you observe that video?
No.
You were in that video, though, to your knowledge, correct?
As far as I know, yes.
And that video has been described by multiple individuals as extremely graphic and haunting. Are you aware of that?
I think I've heard that, yes.
They are extremely graphic and extremely haunting. I will never get them out of my head. I'll never be able to unsee that.
And that video actually, in fact, shows your son take his final breath. Are you aware of that?
I did not know that, no.
And it shows what you were doing in the time leading up to him taking that final breath. Are you aware of that?
I would assume so.
Are you aware that it shows you being extremely cold?
She's being so cold right now. It's like she doesn't give a flying fuck about anything. She doesn't care. And you know what? The judge is sitting here and he's seeing this, and I'm glad that he came back and said, no, you get no new trial. Out of everybody that was handed a new trial, it was like Oprah, you get a new trial, and you get a new trial, and you get a new trial. And this one said,
Cruel to him in those moments.
I don't know.
You're also aware that after he's passed away, it depicts you dragging him out of that closet. Are you aware of that?
I remember performing CPR, so I guess that's...
bullshit. You drug him out of that closet, yanked him out of the closet, actually, to be specific. I've got the video. He's trying to get up with every ounce of whatever energy and muscle that he does have, trying to get up, and it's not fast enough for her. So either it's her or it's Paul yanks him out of the closet, and then you see her throw him back in, and he's just nothing but bone, skin and bone. And you really don't know what that looks like until you've seen it. It's just, skin and bone is just a phrase that we use. And you could see her positioning his head. I've said this throughout this entire thing. Like, yes, you did all of that, ma'am. Like, it's,
Was what happened before that?
Okay, one second.
Can't call them. She's not a mother.
Are you aware that at the end of that video, after you pull him out, there's audio about telling him to stop faking it?
I have no idea what was in it.
Are you also aware that before he passes away, you call him a dummy?
It's hard to watch, but, and I got a message from someone, they actually wanted to see it, and I was like, are you sure? And so I sent them the link, and they were like, oh yeah, that hits different. And I was like, yeah, it does. They were just there. No, they're not. No, they're not family.
There was something said about that at trial. We all say stupid things.
So it's your...
We all say stupid things.
testimony that was just a stupid thing to say to your dying son? To insult him?
It's a stupid thing to say to your child, period. That's what
Yet
I'm
you
saying.
said it.
Did you hear what she said? Hold on. That's at 49, so hold on. Barely gonna take it back.
Are you aware of that?
I think I've heard that, yes.
And that video actually, in fact, shows your son take his final breath. Are you aware of that?
I did not know that, no.
And it shows what you were doing in the time leading up to him taking that final breath. Are you aware of that?
I would assume so.
Are you aware that it shows you being extremely cruel to him in those moments?
I don't know.
You're also aware that after he's passed away, it depicts you dragging him out of that closet. Are you aware of that?
I remember performing CPR, so I guess was what happened before that.
Okay, one second.
He is
Are you aware that at the end of that video, after you pull him out, there's audio about telling him to stop faking it?
I have no idea what was in it.
Are you also aware that before he passes away, you call him a dummy?
There was something said about that at trial.
Yeah, here.
We all say stupid things.
You called him a dummy. That's
So is your-
stupid. That's stupid to call your. Your child who's dying, that you're unaliving, that has a list long of challenges, a dummy, and you say we all say stupid stuff.
Testimony that was just a stupid thing to say to your dying son? To insult him?
It's a stupid thing to say to your child, period. That's what
Yet
I'm
you
saying.
said it, correct?
Yes, I mean, I'm not disputing it.
Oh my God.
Do you believe that your attorney should have let the jury view that video in
Sorry, not sorry. She should be on death row for this.
its entirety?
No.
Okay. So you think it's probably a good trial strategy to shield the jurors from seeing you on video insult your dying son, correct?
Yes.
It's probably a good trial strategy to not have the jurors personally witness his last breaths, correct?
Yes.
And it's probably a good trial strategy to not have the jurors observe you telling him he's faking it when he's already dead, correct?
Yes.
Now, it's your testimony that during the trial there was some discussion about the manslaughter instruction, correct?
What do you mean? I'm sorry, can you rephrase that?
So you testified on direct that when Mr. Johnson came to the jail, he was discussing jury instructions.
Oh, you mean this hearing? Yes, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry,
I was
not
confused.
this hearing. I apologize. The trial. During the trial, there was a discussion that Mr. Johnson had with you about the manslaughter instruction.
Yes.
I'm going to ask a couple of questions that sort of dovetail off of the court's questions here, though. And I'm sorry to go backwards, but you said when you're having these dissociative episodes, you have involuntary movements.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, it's being recorded. So
Yes, I'm sorry.
And let me ask you this. Was it an involuntary movement for you to grab the garbage can while you were testifying? Or was that unintentional?
I don't know what you mean. I mean, I was...
The shade. Oh, she's so good. You guys, the shade that was just thrown right there. If you didn't catch that, I'm so sorry. But that was so good. Good for her.
Gonna throw up.
Okay, so did you make the choice to extend your arms and grab it?
Yeah.
Ma'am.
And did you make the choice to lean your body over?
I don't know. I don't know on that. I mean, I was about to throw up, so.
Did it happen by accident that you were positioned that way?
I mean, no.
Okay.
Mustang, she is. The trials that always stand out to me have really fiery prosecutors or judges, or, I like to see flair in a trial. And if a trial gets justice, that's great. If it might be boring, but at least they get their justice. But I love a good fiery trial. Yeah. Did I say frying? Fiery. Fiery.
Are you aware there was no vomit in that garbage can once you left the courtroom?
I have no idea.
It's because you faked the vomit, correct?
Oh, Simi said she's frying. I got you. Aren't we all?
I didn't fake anything. I dry heave all the time. I dry heave from motion sickness before I got the motion sickness meds I used this morning for the trip over.
Okay, let's talk about that. So didn't you claim at the last hearing that you had some motion sickness on the way into court?
Yes, I did.
And do you recall whether or not that was supported by any of your transport team?
I remember they said that they had glanced at me in the mirror. I mean, I know I was dry heaving. I didn't actually throw up anything, but that's because I didn't eat intentionally, because I knew I get motion sick.
So do you remember, I believe there was some inquiry to your Department of Corrections officers. Do you remember them saying something from these seats back here at the last hearing?
I remember them talking from there, yes.
Okay, and I believe the judge, and I don't have the transcript, but I believe the court may have even sworn them in briefly for a couple.
One of them, yes.
One of them, yes. And it was as to your claims of motion sickness, or how you were feeling.
I can't say that I've watched any of the Pinot trial. I did, was it opening statements where he had like a nervous breakdown and he was crying and like that, oh my God, that face. I did see that clip, but I haven't, you guys, I haven't had any time to watch any trials. So, and even with my time that I'm taking off from this, I'm going to be getting the Adam Montgomery trial ready for moving forward. So I'm getting all my information based off clips right now.
On the transport.
How I was feeling on the transport, yes.
And there's no mention of you vomiting in that transport van, correct?
No, I dry heaved. I didn't have anything on my stomach to throw up, thankfully.
Kino reminds me of a cartoon, like a cartoon character, and I can't think of his name, but he's got a very just like cartoon face. And when he was doing that little, the squeezing that he had to do to get those tears out, my word, he was squeezing so hard. The faces that man was making, I couldn't help but laugh. I don't know what's going on in that trial, to be honest with you. I don't know anything about it. I don't even know what it's about. Something about a boat crash. I don't know if he's innocent or guilty or how we're feeling about this man, but all I know is that he is very theatrical. Right, Teresa? I was like, where are the tears? And he was really trying, man. He was really trying. Did he destroy Sharon? Oh, the families were friends. That sucks. I'm gonna have to read into that trial and look. I'm not gonna cover it or anything. I just want to see what it's about. It's so quiet.
Ms. Vander Ark, you were here for that November hearing, correct?
Yes.
And you sat in the courtroom while the other.
Those parents should not have allowed underage drinking. Wait, the girl was his daughter? So was his daughter driving the boat and she was drinking underage? Or was he driving the boat and she died? I'll have to read it and see what's happening. Yeah, like I said, I don't know anything about it.
Witnesses testified, correct?
Yes.
Is it your testimony today that they all were lying about what happened in the jail before the Friday start of the trial?
What do you mean?
Well, so let's talk about it. We had multiple individuals who testified about your desire to not come to court, correct?
I know at least one said that, and I do remember making comment, I don't want to, but most of it was I can't.
Okay, but you did say the words, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
And you ultimately
So that means that she didn't want to. So
memorialized that in an affidavit.
Yes.
And you don't dispute that that is something you signed, correct?
No, I don't dispute it. I signed it.
Do you remember? Actually, let me strike that. Let me rephrase. Miss Kentucky testified about her observations of you
Yes.
that morning, correct?
Yes, she did. Although hers were different than Fred's and mine, but some of them.
It's fair to say you have some selective memory about what you remember from that morning, correct?
selective memory.
It's not selective at all. I still have memory issues to this day.
So it's fair to say, though, you remember some of the things enough to
Some
say
of it.
Miss Kentucky's is different than yours.
Well, because I sat there and I was the one that wrote the affidavit. And I sat here when Mr. Johnson said that, and officer said that I was curled into a ball on the floor, and then she said I was up in a chair, that it wasn't as bad. But he described it, I mean, the most accurate total description was what he did, what he described and the officers described. Hers wasn't as accurate.
So you're saying that Mr. Johnson's description of you that morning is accurate?
From what he said, as far as curled up into a ball and not able to communicate, yes.
So I said yes or no. Mr. Johnson's testimony about that morning is accurate.
As far as I remember I'd have to
Yes
go back.
or no?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I have nothing further.
All right, Mr. Ambrose.
Are you saying all of Mr. Johnson's testimony was accurate?
Absolutely not.
Okay,
Not even close.
all right. You were seen by a number of professionals, correct?
Yes, sir.
One of those professionals is Dr. Colin King, is that correct?
I'm gonna have to go back and see.
Yes, sir.
And the prosecution mentioned that on page 10 there is a conclusion part, and you testified as to that, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
The ultimate conclusion on page 11 of Dr. Collins' report, can you read that, the highlighted portion?
Yes, sir. After reviewing the text messages with Ms. Vander Ark and the police report, Ms. Vander Ark continues to insist that she did nothing wrong and was not convinced that her actions and instructions caused the death of her son. This clinician is of the opinion that Ms. Vander Ark truly believes that her actions were appropriate and not harmful.
Okay, and this is a report that Mr. Johnson gave you?
Yes.
And you talked about this with Mr. Johnson?
I don't remember how much we talked about that.
Okay. As far as you're aware that you've always expressed your innocence to Mr. Johnson?
Absolutely.
Did you ever concede or ask him to concede to anything?
Absolutely not. I never would have.
Now, after day 3, after your testimony, were you seen by any medical personnel?
No.
On day 4, were you seen by any medical personnel?
No, sir.
I have nothing further.
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
I have some questions. Ms. Vander Ark, I think you testified at the beginning of your testimony for Mr. Ambrose, is that you said on day 1, Mr. Johnson told you that you had to testify. Is that true?
No, I said I knew I had to testify.
You knew you had to testify?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And did that conclusion come from the conversation between the two of you? Or was that something that you were already had concluded in your mind even before you talked to him?
I think it was mostly I concluded. I mean, we discussed it, but I kind of knew that from the first time.
So you knew it. So you're telling me this idea of you testifying came independently even before you had spoken to Mr. Johnson?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then did Mr. Johnson discourage that idea? Did he encourage that idea?
He agreed with me the whole way. We talked about that multiple times and the whole process. And we always said I had to testify. There was never a question in that.
You said that Mr. Johnson, the discussions between the two of you had largely centered around that the prosecution had to prove intentional act max, is that true?
For the child abuse charge, yes.
Okay.
Intentionally or knowingly.
Intentional and knowingly, okay, and you said you two agreed that, based on what you were telling him, that intentional and knowingly had not occurred?
That's correct.
Okay. Was there ever discussion after that about, well, it's potentially, there could be a negligence argument here?
No, we never discussed it. Never.
You had indicated that you saw Mr. Johnson, you said around 2 to 3 times during that first month after you were arrested and taken to the jail, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. After that, you used the phrase, I saw him once in a blue moon. Can you give me an approximation how often that you believe you saw him going forward? Once a month, twice a month?
It wasn't. I think when he testified, he said once every other month. I don't feel like it was even that often,
Okay,
but
so
I don't know.
what's your independent memory of how often you came?
I would say once every few months.
Once every few months?
Yes.
You mean 3 months?
At least 3, yes, sir.
So once every 3 months. Okay. All right. Did that frequency increase as the trial approached?
I don't feel like it did. I mean, there was a couple at the end that were closer together, but
The month before the trial, can you tell me how many times you remember him visiting you?
I'm thinking 1, 2. There was 2 actual visits, and then we came in here for 20 minutes.
Okay.
To do a little bit of prep, just a few minutes.
I want to make sure, I should have prefaced what I was saying. When we're talking about Mr. Johnson, I mean himself.
Yes.
Not any other member of his team.
No, I mean.
Okay. So those what you were testifying to was Mr. Johnson himself. Is that
Yes.
correct? Okay. Were there any other members of his quote-unquote team that had come and talked to you outside of those times that Mr. Johnson had come individually? So separate from Mr. Johnson.
You mean just before trial, or what do you mean?
No, well, let's start. You said 2 to 3 times Mr. Johnson the first month. Was there anybody else from his quote-unquote, let me go back. What did you know of his team? What did you consider his team to be?
I knew he had some interns. He had the original social worker. I don't remember her name. I'm sorry, I'm bad with names.
So social worker.
She came in once a week to the jail for a while.
Okay, once a week. Okay.
And then that was it. We came in for a hearing. I think it was to something about competency, and Nick Goings was there.
Okay.
So I knew he was on the team. And then both the social worker and Fred had mentioned a research attorney.
Okay. Did you ever meet the research
attorney? No, I did not.
So you believe 2 interns, research attorney, at least 1 other attorney, Mr. Goings, and you believed he was an attorney, correct?
Yes. Oh, I knew he was.
And Mr. Johnson, is there any, and the social worker, was there anybody else that you knew was on this team?
Not specifically. I know he would say he had people working on it, but that's...
All right. And you're saying the social worker came in every week?
For a while, before that one left. She left the public defender's office.
Okay, do you know approximately when?
I have no idea. I'm sorry. But
okay. And then when a new one took over, did that social worker come?
I saw her twice, I think, in person before trial.
Okay, all right. In terms of the interns, how often did you see an intern?
They actually did not come like he had said they would.
They never came?
One came with him. It was the same one a couple of times.
Okay.
I don't know, 2 or 3 times. It was there at the end. She sat in on the trial too.
So it didn't intern?
Hi, Josh. Good to see you. Not sure about this Vander Ark. Yeah, that's her. So this is the very last, and I want to say there's only like 20 minutes left, of this saga, but we found out that she's not going to get her new trial, so we got some good news in the past couple days. But we're just watching the very end of this, and then I'm gonna be replaying the Adam Montgomery trial soon because his convictions got overturned. So we got bad news there. But welcome, good to see you, sir.
Ever come independently of Mr. Johnson?
No.
Okay. one of the arguments advanced by your attorney and you in the affidavit was that Mr. Johnson did not argue what you felt. Well, let me ask you a question. The dehydration argument, was that to you should have been the primary argument?
I did not know about that until the medical examiner testified.
Okay.
So when I realized that, I asked him to ask about it, but I think he only asked one question and that was it. I didn't even know about that until that day.
Okay, in your affidavit, it says, and this is one of the paragraphs, this is page 11. It says the medical examiner stated that one of the main causes of death was dehydration. It says I specifically asked Mr. Johnson to examine this much deeper. There was no accusation against me regarding depriving Timothy of water. This alone could have raised a reasonable doubt that Mr. Johnson never pursued the subject at all. When you make the statement, I specifically asked Mr. Johnson to examine this much deeper. Are you saying, was this before the trial, or was this after you heard the medical examiner testify?
This was after I heard the medical examiner testify.
Okay. So it's your testimony, and when you said you asked Mr. Johnson to examine this much deeper, was that during a break after the ME had testified?
No, it was in the middle of it. I wrote him a note.
Well, you wrote him a note?
Yes.
Could you recall what the note said?
I put dehydration question mark.
Oh, thank you, Lulu. I hope you guys have fun. It sounds like you've got a lot planned and having some adventures there, going on some adventures.
Exclamation point. And I said, please ask more about this because he had access to water. Yes, sir.
And it's your testimony that he did not?
No.
Okay. I don't want to go too much into what could have, should have. Did Timothy have access to water?
Yes, he did.
Okay. Was he cognitively capable of getting water on his own?
Yes, he was on the spectrum, but the only symptom he really showed was awkwardness. He was grade level, he was passing all his classes, and he could communicate. He did interact with some people at Little Man's baseball games, but he just was awkward. He didn't want to hang out around other kids, and he was 15. He was, you try to hug him.
No. You wouldn't let him hang out with other kids. You locked him in a closet in the house where he couldn't even be seen by his grandparents. You didn't even want the other kid in the house to see him.
He's like, Mom, go away. But no.
He probably didn't even know what a hug was. He was probably scared for you to touch him.
He could communicate just fine. Trust me, he could communicate just fine.
And I just want to be clear what you believe the argument that should have been made. You believe the argument that should have been advanced to the jury was that Timothy caused his own death by not drinking water.
I think that something should have come up.
Oh, awesome. Thank you for stopping by, Kel. Thank you for coming. I'll have to stop by her and say hello.
There was, and I just told Miss F. I can't even.
Is that the argument? Is that the argument that you believe should have been advanced to the jury, that Timothy caused his own death because he stopped drinking water?
I think it should have been mentioned, yes. He had suicidal stuff before I got him, so he was hospitalized.
So he had suicidal stuff?
Yeah, he was actually.
Oh my God.
Bullshit. A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit. Bullshit.
Hospitalized for suicidal ideation. His stepmom told me that.
Okay. So you believe that an argument should have been made that Timothy essentially consciously caused his own death?
She is literally right here saying that he did all this to himself, that he caused his own death, that he unalived himself. Do you hear this right now? This is the point that I was talking about that everybody was going to get so enraged over because this woman really has the fucking audacity. Sorry, excuse my language.
He committed suicide.
I don't know what happened. So, but
I know that.
Yeah.
I understand that. But I'm trying.
I think it should have been brought up. Yes.
Okay. All right. I understand. Okay. Did your concerns with Mr. Johnson's representation, did those arise prior to the trial?
I was worried about it along the way, yes.
Okay.
And along the way, but you didn't stop and say, hey, I'm not happy with my counsel. I want to change counsel. You're allowed to do that, no? I mean, Sarah Boone did it 25,000 times.
Did you ever attempt to bring those concerns, to the court's attention?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't in good shape. Remember, the time I was isolated, I wasn't eating, I wasn't sleeping.
Okay.
I was not in good shape.
Oh, woe is me.
You had the ability to write letters, correct?
Yes, but I didn't have any, I mean, for the most part, at first I had a little bit of money on my account, but I didn't have any
Well, you
envelopes or
can write
anything.
cuts, correct?
Yes, yeah.
Those are free, correct?
Yeah, you can write them, they go to your attorney.
Were you aware that you could send one to the court?
No.
Girl, you need to be more creative because if you have not seen Sarah Boone's letters to her judge, and some of these other letters that some of these other defendants have mailed out, some wanted ads for attorneys. Sarah Boone did that one too. Freaking, why can't I think of it right now? Oh my goodness. I'm drawing a blank. But he had a whole, why am I drawing a blank on this? But anyways, he drew a whole little header and wrote the judge saying he wanted to represent. Oh, Austin Drummond drew a whole little header and sent it to his judge. Like, she's just lazy. She knew she's full of shit.
I was not.
Now, you were in court a couple of times before trial, is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, let's put some Justin Timberlake on Cry Me a River.
All right. Is there a reason you did not bring that issue to the court at the time of those hearings?
I didn't want to speak out of turn. I mean, I wasn't thinking about it right then, but I just, those hearings were for certain purposes.
I didn't want to speak out of turn. Those hearings were for certain my ass.
So you didn't feel that you could directly bring those to the court?
Yes. Yes.
Right. Just below that paragraph on page 11, it says, I testified for around 5 hours on the Thursday.
Perfect, Josh. I have cheese and wine. I'll bring it.
I was supposed to finish my testimony on Friday, including some very important questions that I wanted Mr. Johnson to ask me before I finished testifying. Do you recall what those questions were?
For the most part, no. I remember one of them because I lose weight really fast. And so, I know there were some questions about Timothy's size along the way. And then we also talked because he's 6'1" and was like 130 pounds, and I'm small. And I was going to have him ask me about how quickly I lose weight, because if I don't eat for a day, I'll lose a couple pounds that fast. So I wanted him to bring that up.
So you wanted to ask how quickly you lose weight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, family genetics. I mean, my mama did the same thing.
Okay. Now, any other questions that you could recall?
Not that I remember, no. I didn't have a pen or paper to write them down.
It is all about her, and she has every excuse in the book.
I didn't have that available when they put me down in the holding cell. What paper I had where I was at, I didn't have access to it.
Okay. These questions that you had contemplated.
You couldn't request it, ma'am? Yeah. Right, Teresa? What about the pounds that you were depriving Timothy from?
Those were. I'm trying to figure out when you formed those questions in your mind. Was that on Thursday or was that on Friday?
Thursday afternoon. Thursday evening. Afternoon. Thursday evening, yeah, after
Thursday evening, okay. At the time that these questions were formed, were you suffering from a panic attack?
No, it was after that.
Okay. Friday morning, Did you formulate any additional questions?
Not that I remember, no.
I want to know there's a lot in your affidavits about what was going on in the holding cell, that you curl up into a ball, you're barely able to communicate. You asked Mr. Johnson to postpone the trial, and you recall what his response was.
Yes.
I want to know, do you independently remember that, or is that what your affidavit, is that based on what someone else told you happened?
No, I remember that small portion of it. I remember bits and pieces. I remember other parts of the morning as well, but that's it. No, I remember laying there. I was curled up, and because he testified that he had explained options to me, and he did not.
Simi, of course he is. He's a very well thought through judge. I really love this judge. And he did right by Timothy. He really cared for him, and he made sure that he got justice.
I asked at least 2 or 3 times to adjourn because I couldn't do it, and he said that it was just going to be the same, and that they just go on without me.
Okay, so those things you can remember, but other things you don't remember, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so during these panic attacks, it sounds like you have, if I say lucidity, you know what that means?
Yes.
Okay, so you're saying during these panic attacks, there are brief moments of lucidity during these panic attacks, where you remember them, where you can cognitively understand what people are saying.
Not usually during a panic attack. It wasn't one solid panic attack. It was multiple panic attacks that morning, but there was times where I wasn't actually in the middle of a panic attack.
So you're saying that what you recall independently of these communications is when you were not suffering a panic attack?
Yes.
So the recollections that you have are from non-panic attack instances, correct?
Yes.
That's all the questions I have. Ms. Vander Ark. Any follow-up, Mr. Abrams, to those questions? Mr. Abrams?
As far as you're aware, when was the last time that either you or Paul provided food to Tim?
I want to say it was the day before he passed. I think Paul said he'd given him something.
Bullshit.
All right, I have no further questions.
Any follow-up?
So, Ms. Vander Ark, it's your testimony that Mr. Johnson should have probed dehydration, correct?
Yes, he knew about it the whole time and never mentioned it to me.
Well, you in fact knew about it too, correct?
What do you mean?
Well, let's go back. Were you at your preliminary examination?
Yes.
You attended it?
Yes.
And do you remember the testimony of Dr. Joyce DeYoung?
At the preliminary? The medical examiner?
The medical examiner.
I don't remember her testifying at the
Do you have any reason to contest the certified transcript of the preliminary examination?
No.
And in fact, on page 87 of your preliminary examination, the forensic pathologist testified his cause of death was dehydration and extreme emaciation due to malnutrition and starvation. Any reason to contest that?
No, I don't even remember her testifying.
Now, there was also, I'm sorry, I cut her testimony off short though, but a significant contributing factor of exogenous hypothermia, so exposure to cold, end quote. Any reason to contest that?
No, she's the medical expert.
The reason he had hypothermia is because he was in water for hours before his death, correct?
That's not what Paul told me. Paul had run...
I didn't ask you what Paul told you.
If that's what she said.
The evidence showed that Timothy was in an ice bath for hours before his death, correct?
Not the whole time, because we didn't have enough ice for that.
Okay, well, let's go to this. You had an ice maker on your counter at the house, correct?
Yes.
And that ice maker was used to put ice cubes into a bath.
Yeah, Josh, I've heard of a lot of good ones up there. Does she have new legal counsel? For this, yes, she does, because she was claiming that her old counsel was ineffective. But now she's not gonna have any because she's gonna be locked behind bars for the rest of her life because she's got LWOP.
Correct?
Yes.
And you were aware of that?
Yes.
And ice is technically water, correct?
Yes.
And bathtub water is water, correct?
Yes.
So yes, it's fair to say you did not restrict his access to water when you ordered ice baths, correct?
I'll go with it. That's a really weird question, but I'll go with it.
Okay. You weren't keeping him dry by ordering ice baths for him.
Who's she scoffing at? This woman, I don't know how anybody ever lived with her.
Correct?
That's a really weird question.
Well, ma'am, you are saying that Timothy committed suicide by not drinking water.
I didn't say that. I said it was possible and it should have been explored because of his previous history.
Well, do you understand that if it had been explored, that there'd be further questions about the ice baths?
I don't know.
Because naturally a bath contains water, correct?
Yes.
Which was a punishment that you ordered for your son, correct?
Once or twice, yes.
Once or twice, okay.
Now, you also said that your attorney asked you when was the last time Timothy was provided food. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Do you recall
Yeah.
having conversations about putting food in front of his face and pulling it away?
No, I don't.
But you have no reason to contest those
I'm not
text messages,
contesting.
correct? I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I just want to throw something at her.
Let me finish my question before you answer, okay?
That's
You have no
right.
reason to contest those text messages, correct?
Correct.
And so if they say that you said to essentially tease your starving son with a pizza roll, that Paul should do it.
If that's what it said, I'm not contesting it.
But that's what
You
it
also
says.
ordered that he be provided hot sauce, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Is that the food you're talking about with your attorney saying you provided food?
No, not as far as I know.
You also ordered that he have hot sauce placed on his genitals, correct?
It's what the text messages says.
Is that the food that you say you provided to him before his death?
No.
Now, the medical examiner didn't determine that your son died from suicide, correct?
That's correct.
But now you're here telling the court that he was suicidal.
I didn't say for sure he was. I said it never got raised.
Well, you sort of raised it in that video that you said that your attorney should have played.
Yeah,
correct?
Josh.
What do you mean I raised it in the video?
On the morning of
Oh, I know what kind of backwoods justice that is. Yeah, Josh. It's been difficult throughout this entire thing.
The morning you discovered Timothy was non-responsive in that closet. Okay, you following along with me?
Yes.
So that morning, when you discover he's non-responsive in the closet, you have discussions with Paul about telling authorities that Timothy was on a hunger strike, correct?
I'm not disputing it. I don't.
Did you, in fact, tell Paul that we need to say he's on a hunger strike?
I don't remember. If that's what it was in there, then I'm not contesting it, but I don't know. I don't remember.
And now you're saying he was on a drinking strike too, correct?
I'm saying it should have been explored. There's a big difference.
This is just another scheme of yours to try to blame Timothy for his own death, isn't it?
Not at all. There is no scheme.
Okay, maybe not the right word. Your testimony is blaming Timothy for his own death.
I'm not blaming anybody. I'm saying there's possibilities that should have been raised.
Well,
He
you're
had a
saying he was
history of suicidal.
So you're saying he was suicidal?
I don't know.
She just said he had a history of suicidal, whatever. Sorry, YouTube doesn't like that word. But in the same breath, she said she didn't know. So which is it? He did or he didn't? He did or you didn't know? Like, keep it together.
I never even thought about the possibility until that morning in court, because I honestly do not remember the medical examiner testifying at prelim. I don't.
You didn't think about the possibility until you were trying to find out a way to blame Mr. Johnson to get a new trial, is that correct?
Bingo.
No, that's not true.
I have nothing further.
Mr. Ambrose.
Have you seen the death certificate?
Yes. I didn't see it till that morning of trial.
Until when?
Until the morning I testified.
Okay. Do you recall what the first thing that is listed on this death certificate is?
It's dehydration.
All right. And that's kind of strange, right?
It's really odd.
Because he's in an ice bath, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he has access to water, right?
Yes.
And so
he didn't.
He didn't drink.
No.
You never prevented him from drinking.
No.
All right. No further questions.
Any comments? All right. Stand there. Can you stand down? All right, Mr. Ambrose, any additional witnesses?
I do not.
Any witnesses, Mr. Ambrose?
No, Your Honor, just if the court would recall, we took my witnesses out of order last hearing. I have no further witnesses.
There's nothing that she can do that'll make that work.
Okay. Anything else, Mr. Ambrose?
No.
All right, I think it's important for the court, based on the testimony of Ms. Vander Ark regarding failure to raise concerns to the court. Ms. Vander Ark, I want to make sure we address you directly at this point, so you are free to talk to the court.
Okay.
I need to know if you believe that your attorney, Mr. Ambrose, is a little awkward, but is there anything that you believe he should do going forward at this point in time in regarding to your motion for a new trial?
No.
Are you satisfied with his representation?
Very much so, yes.
Any other witnesses you want him to call?
No.
He's like, all right, let's just double check. Are you okay with this attorney? Did he do okay? You want to call up anybody else? Are we good here?
Is there anything else you want him to do? No. Okay, all right, good enough. All right, I think that's the evidence is concluded. The court is going to take the matter under advisement. The court will issue a written opinion. And then we'll go from there. All right.
I'm assuming that Mr. Roberts is not testifying?
No. No, he's not.
Okay. That was mentioned at the last hearing that he may be testifying, and I was kind of prepping for that.
Do you want to call him as a witness?
No, that's all right.
Okay, you sure?
Yeah.
Ms. Vander Ark, do you want him to testify? Mr. Roberts? All right, good enough. We're in recess. Have a good day. Have a good weekend.
And he's out, and we can all say bye, Shanda. Because you're not getting a new trial. It's over. Enjoy your honey buns. I wonder what her new girlfriend's name's gonna be. Alright, guys. Well, we made it. It's been 3 hours and 20 minutes. Thank you for sticking it out with me. I'm gonna end this. Yes, that double check was on the record. So it'll be a little bit, but when I get back here in the next few weeks, thank you, Sharon. Thank you all so much for being here. When I get back in the next couple weeks, because I want to start getting everything ready, we will start the Adam Montgomery trial. I hope everybody has, what's today, Monday? A great week. I'm usually not a throwaway the key kind of guy, but this, yeah, no, it's really bad. She's definitely one to, if you were gonna do that, she's the one to do it. But if you guys can, remember to hit that like on your way out, share this out, sub, or double check to see if you're still subbed. And that's it. I'll see everyone later. Bye.
So long for now and goodbye. We'll see you later.